Protestations to the lineage masters and the triple gems. Hello everyone. I have brought the sixth chapter of the book written by the seven to between written between 7 to 8th century by the Mahayana Buddhist master named as Acharya Shantideva. The book name is Bodhicharya Avatara, and I have translated it as a conduct of aspiring bodhisattvas because the book says how the conduct of a person who aspires to be the Buddha should conduct. Okay, so the chapters the name of the chapter I've translated as the conduct of aspiring bodhisattva, and this book has 10 chapters altogether, and we have already completed the first 5 chapters, and now today I'm going to I'm trying to complete whole 6th chapter. um, Let me briefly give introduction about this chapter, the 6th chapter. The name of this chapter is called Shanti Paramita, which means Shanti means patience, tolerance, um, and Paramita means perfect. Okay, you have through practice you have perfected the patience. Okay, that's the meaning of the um, name Shanti Paramita. Um, there are 134 stanzas in this chapter, and throughout the all chapter he will be talking about, yeah, as the name says, how to perfect the patience. Okay, um, when we say patience, it means that you have to have certain tolerating powers towards the things or the peoples or the situations which are not going according to your wish. Okay, so someone who doesn't have and have not practiced patience in their life, they get reactive towards the external situation. Okay, if they well, we human being in Buddhism, there is a concept of 8 worldly concerns. um, 4 of them we want that. Okay, for example, you want profit, you don't want loss. um, you want praise, people praising you, you want that. You don't want anyone blaming you. Okay, so and you want people, um, you want the objects of sense pleasures, whatever object of sense pleasure, for example beautiful things, beautiful and tasty foods, melodious sound, um, gives happiness to you, so you want that thing. But you don't want which is not beautiful, which is ugly. You don't want, you want to get away, get rid of those things. Okay, so anything you like, for example praise, fame, you want popularity, you don't want say defame. Okay, so anything you think will make you happy, you like them, you want them, and if you don't get that, you become depressed. Initially you won't get directly to the depression stage initially, but your habit of being unhappy continuously for whatever you want, not getting whatever you want and getting whatever you don't want, makes you push you towards to certain extreme. After that you become depressed. Okay, so any person who doesn't have patience, they very easily go towards the depression, because in whole entire their whole life is revolved around trying to get the things they want. the things, yeah, they think that will make them happy. And if they don't get that thing, if the things don't go according to their wish, they start becoming unhappy, and this unhappiness lead to the depression. Okay, so Acharya Santideva will be talking about the practice of patience, which will make you mentally so strong that external environments, whatever it may come, people can blame you, people can, um, defame you. You might get lost in things, and and you might get what you don't like, you might not get what you like. So those type of situation, those type of people, those type of external object environment will not affect the internal peace of your mind. So this chapter is about achieving that level of confidence, that level of mental strength. Okay, so Acharya Santi Deva will be talking how to achieve that level of strength, that level of, we in Sanskrit we call Vajra, where nothing can buzz you, nothing can move you. So how to achieve that type of mental stability, he will be talking about those things in this chapter. Okay, before going to the chapter, I mean stanzas itself, I want to differentiate between, I want you to know what is the difference between patience and the practice of, sorry, perfection of patience. Okay, what is the difference? We all know what is patience. Okay, why a Buddhist need to differentiate between patience and the perfection of patience? Okay, being a human being, or animal also, they have patience to a certain level. Okay, but difference between that type of patience, having that type of patience, and having perfection is patience, perfection of patience, which Buddhists talk about, is that if you don't have wisdom mixed in your patience, then it becomes only patience only. Okay, you will show the patience, your patience will be fluctuating, okay, depending upon the external environment. Okay, for someone who is more stronger than you will show the patience. But if someone is less stronger than you lose your patience, you easily get angry. But when that's the only simple patience, okay, which we all have in our life. But when you mix that patience with the wisdom, especially in realizing the emptiness of inherent existence of everything, then that patience becomes the perfection of patience. So that's the difference between patience and perfection of patience. Okay, and when Buddhists talk about the patience, we're talking about the perfection of patience. Sorry, Chanti Paramita. We're talking about Chanti Paramita, not only Chanti. Every religion, even a non-religious person, even animal who do not who can't talk our language, who do not understand our language, they have patience. But the Buddha, the type of patience Buddha taught us, especially Mahayana Buddhism, you know, um, is the patience of, sorry, perfection of patience. Okay, not only patience, perfection of patience. Now what is the perfection of patience? Okay, so he will be Acharya Santi, how to perfect in the patience. Okay, that about that thing Acharya Santi Deva will be talking in this chapter, which is 134 um, stanzas. Okay, I have made this video in Nepali also, and in that length of that video, it was 4 hours. So let's see. I don't know in English how long it will be. Let's see. Okay, so I give you what to expect. Okay, idea. So it might be more than 3 hours the video is, but you have, you can always pause and, and then take rest and then come back and then again. So practice, when we talk about practice, it doesn't mean like watching or listening anything like a movie and forgetting. You have to keep on, listening it again and again, reading is again and again, contemplating about it again and again, meditating on whatever you know. So that's how you do the, vipassana. We say vipassana, in the insight meditation. That's what you that's how you do the insight meditation. Okay, you can't just finish all the video, 4 hour video, and then just dump it in one corner of your um in or on the laptop or wherever, and then forget about it. Now you should come and go through those things again and again and again, unless those wisdom you learn through this stanza start appearing in your personality. Okay, that's how you acquire the wisdom. Okay, you acquire in Buddhism, we acquire the wisdom in 3 ways. Okay, there is gradual way of acquiring any wisdom. First you listen about it, okay, you read about it, and then you start contemplating, thinking about it. Up to this level it is, conceptual. And then when this conceptual becomes your habit, that wisdom will arise within you non-conceptually. Okay, that's how gradually, that is the way of Buddhist way of realizing anything. First, you start from conceptual level. You go through reading, listening, contemplating, and then after you go on repeating those things again and again, um, especially through meditation, then that wisdom will turn into non-conceptual wisdom. It will arise, spontaneously. You don't even need to think about it. It just gets spilled in everywhere. The way you talk, the way you walk, uh, it reveals in the even the choice of words you choose to communicate with you other people. Okay, that wisdoms appears or spills or manifest in the words you are using to communicate with the external world. Okay, so that's a brief instruction about the introduction about the perfection of patience. Let's go start with the stanzas itself. So the first stanza goes like this: Sarva me tat sucharitam danam sugata pujanam kritam kalpa sahasrairat pratiga pratihanti tat. So whatever you do, whatever virtuous type of activities you do, like you you donate the things to other people. Okay, you don't kill anyone, or you follow exactly whatever Buddha has said in his 10 virtuous deeds. Okay, you don't divert yourself from you don't kill, you don't lie, you don't do sexual misconduct. All those things are the virtuous deeds. So whatever virtuous deed you do, but if you have the anger in you, that anger will destroy, you know um, root of or cause of or seed of that virtuous deed. Okay, it's like you throw the seed in the fire of anger, so it won't give the desired um, result. Even though you have been giving donation to people, you know since thousands of eons. Okay, even though you are following all the virtuous deeds said by Buddha for thousands of years, but you don't have control on your anger, those virtuous deeds are you know are will go wasted. Okay, you won't get the desired result from those virtuous deeds. That's what he is saying in stanza 1. न च द्वेष समं पापं न च शान्ति समं तप तस्मात् शान्तिं प्रयत्नेन भावयेत् विवेदनै. Okay, so he's saying that there is nothing that equals to nothing seen or non-virtuous that is equivalent to anger. Okay, the anger is the most dangerous, topmost non-virtuous deeds, and there is nothing which is as austerious as the patience. So 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 anything, the patience is the most, austerious thing to do, and the anger is the most non-virtuous deed one do. Okay, there's nothing else which equals the anger and patience in its austerity, sorry, is in his non-virtuous and virtues. Okay, that is why one should practice the patience effortfully in various way by using the wisdoms. Okay, naya, here there's a word naya, which means using the different type of wisdoms. Okay, so there should be wisdom in the patience, your practice of patience. If you want to practice, perfect the practice of the patience, then there should be wisdom involved there. मन समम न गृहणाति न प्रीति सुखमश्नुते न nidram न घृतिम याति dvesasale hirdi stite. Okay, so he is here he is talking about the what is the state of, okay, mental state of a person who has anger stuck in their heart, as if there is a thorn stuck in your body. He says that this man who has strong anger in their heart, um, they can't stay quiet, they can't stay stable. Okay, they can't achieve the equanimity, neither they can enjoy the love in their life. They can't even sleep at night peacefully. Okay, so someone who has the thorn of malice in stuck in their heart, they can't do anything peacefully. Okay, they can't even sleep, they can't enjoy the love in their life, they can't um, their mind is not stable. That's what he's saying in this stanza. Pujayarthamanayan yepi chenam samarsita tepenam hantumichanti swaminam desadurvagam. Okay, this angry person gives all the money to other people, worship them with money, worship them with respect. But this very person who is totally dependent on this angry person, they too wish to destroy this angry person. Okay, that's how unlucky this malicious person is. This anger makes this person, even though he donates, okay, give money to other people, but because of his anger, the very person who are receiving donation from him, who are surviving because of him, will wish to destroy this spiteful or malicious unlucky master. Sruhidopi udvijayante yasmat dadati na cha sevyate sanchepanasti tatkinchit kopano ena susrita. So even the Sruhido means the friend, even the friends become fed up with this type of person, okay, who is always angry. Even though he gives them, but he doesn't get served back. Okay, he doesn't get service in return. And in short, or in conclusion, there is nothing exist, okay, which will make this angry person stay or live peacefully. एवं आदीनि दुःखानि करोति त्य अरिसंगया यह क्रोध हन्ति निर्वन्दात् स सुखी इय परत्र. Okay, in this way, this type of angers, this anger creates this type of suffering. So realizing that by giving the name of enemy to this anger, okay, um, whoever wants to destroy you know this anger, who destroy this anger by seeing it as, or labeling it as an enemy, with perseverance. Okay, of course you need the lots of perseverance, forward patience to destroy this enemy, which is your own anger. So whoever with patience try to, I mean, work hard or effortfully to destroy this anger, he become peaceful or happy in this, not only in this world but in the next life too. Anishtakarana jatam istasya cha vigatanath. Okay, now here he's starting to talk about what is the reason of how the anger is produced, what is the cause of production of anger, and then what fuels up, what gives the food for the continuous, for the survival of that anger. That's what he's talking about in this stanza. Anista karana jatam istasya cha viganat. So anger is produced from what is not desired. For example, you want the happiness, you don't want the sadness. Okay, you want the praise, you don't want the blame. You want the popularity. Okay, you don't want defame. You want the profit from everywhere, you don't want the loss. Okay, so whatever you want, if you don't get that thing, and whatever you don't want, if you get that thing, as well as whatever you want, if someone else gets that, especially the person you don't like, okay, then also your anger, these three things, um, makes the anger produce, creates the anger in your mind. Okay, number one is whatever is not, whatever you desire, you don't, if you don't get that, and whatever you don't desire, if you get that, as well as whatever you desire, if your enemy gets that. In these three situation, you your anger is produced in your mind. And when you are angry, you are sad, obviously. Okay, angry person are never happy, and that sadness, okay, we call dormanasya in Sanskrit. So dormanasya sanam prapya doiso dipto nihantima, which means that by having fed on the food of sadness, okay, because you are sad because you don't did not get what you want. Now that sadness is the food for the anger. Okay, and having fed on that sadness, this anger which is produced because of uh, not getting what you desire, uh, it becomes more healthy, more strong, more powerful, and destroys you. Tasmat vigasatayisami tasya sanam maham ripo. Okay, that is why I will destroy the food of that enemy. Okay, that anger, here anger is the your anger is your enemy. Okay, and the sadness is the food of your enemy. So I will, that is why, because this enemy will feed on that sadness and become more powerful and destroy myself. That is why I will destroy the food of this enemy, because esman vadanyeta kritam asyasti vairina. Okay, because this enemy doesn't have anything else, nothing else here it has to do other than destroy me. Its sole motivation is to destroy me. That is why I will destroy the food of this enemy, which is sadness. That means you will destroy the sadness. Doesn't matter what you are, the external environment are not under your control, but you being happy or sad is under your control. So if you destroy the sadness, then you can destroy, you cannot be, the external environment cannot um, cannot win you. The external environment, I mean, there's no enemy in external environment, it's just your attachment towards certain things is making you angry. So that anger cannot win you. if we destroy the food of that anger. And the food of the anger is the sadness. Okay, depression, those things are the food of anger. अत्यानिष्ट गमे नापी नछोब्या मुदितामा. That's why doesn't matter how in undesirable, situation come, I will not disturb my happiness. Okay, नछोब्या मुदितामया. I will not get agitated because of having those undesirable outcomes. And in the second line, he's saying, Dormana sepi nastistam. Even though if I become, miserable, I will not get what I want. Dormana sepi nastistam. Kusalam tva avahiyate. But the virtue, whatever virtue I have got by doing the, different type of virtues, this, that too will also get destroyed. Okay, so यद्यस्तेव प्रतीकारो दौर्मनस्येन तत्र किम् अथ नास्ति प्रतीकारो दौर्मनस्येन तत्र किम्. If there is any way out, what is the use of being happy, unhappy, or sad, or depressed? And if there is no solution, what is the use of being unhappy? Your unhappiness doesn't solve the problem. And if there is a solution, what is the point of being unhappy? Use that solution and solve a problem. Okay, that's what the stanza 10 is saying. Dukham nekkara parusyam ayaseschetya nipsitam piradam matmano vapi satroschetat viparyayat. So you don't want, okay, pain, you don't want insult, you don't want harsh word, you don't want blame for yourself as well as your loved one. But when it comes to your enemy, or the person you don't like, which you label as the enemy, you want same thing. Okay, you want pain for them, you want insult for them, harsh words for them, you want blame for them. Katham chillabhate sokhyam dukham stitam ayatnata dukhe naiva cha nisara chitat tasma dhidi baba. So happiness is achieved occasionally. Okay, it's very difficult to achieve the happiness, but suffering is present everywhere without effort. Even if you feel happy sitting, after a long, if you keep on sitting for a long time, then that sitting itself will become suffering. So suffering is present everywhere. Happiness is just occasional only. Okay, happiness is fleeting. So the very thing which makes you happy, if you keep on doing that for a long time, suffering will come there. That very thing will become suffering for you. So happiness is achieved occasionally, but the suffering is present everywhere without effort. Dukhe naiva chanisara. Now, if you want to get rid of suffering, you have to bear a little bit of pain for that too. That is why, oh mind, don't get scared with the suffering. Okay, suffering is everywhere. Even to get over that suffering, you need to suffer. You need to bear another type of suffering. That is why, oh mind, don't be scared with the suffering. Have patience. That is why, that is what Acharya Santideva is saying in stanza 12. Durga putra ka karnata daha chedadi vedana vitha sahante muktyartham aham kasmat tukatara. Now here he is giving example of how people go through hardship in the hope that they will give happiness, they will get rid of suffering. Okay, so what extreme things they do in their life in the hope that practice will um, help them liberate from the suffering. And for example, he's saying he's giving the example of the worshippers of the Durga in some Karnataka area, which is in India. They just they burn their body, they pierce their body, unnecessarily, in the hope of that this type of activity will liberate them. Even this ignorant persons, peoples, they tolerate this type of suffering. Why are you so timid, O mind? That's what he's talking to himself. Okay, so he's saying to himself as if he's standing in front of mirror and looking on his own, to his own eye, and then saying, why are you so timid, O mind? People go through this type of hardship in the hope of liberation. न किञ्चिद् अस्ति तद्वस्तु यद् अभ्यासस्य दुष्करं तस्मात् मृदु व्यथाभ्यासात् सोढव्यापी महाव्यथा व्यथा. Nothing exists. Okay, if you practice, everything becomes very easy. Okay, there is no difficulties which cannot be overcome through practice. And through practice of the minor pains, you will be able to you will become expert in tolerating greater pains. That's what he's saying in stanza 14. Uddamsa damsa masakam mas Uddamsa damsam sakam. This word is very difficult to pronounce. Okay, let's dissect this word. Okay, this one, then it will be easy to pronounce it. Okay, uddams, and then dam dams, and then there is one more, masak. Uddamsa, dams, masaka. Okay, uddamsa means mosquito, and damsa means bites from the insect or animals such as snakes, bugs, those things. And masaka means also again um, mosquitoes, small type of insects. So he's talking about those things. Uddamsa damsa masaka. Chut pipasa. Chut means hunger. um, Pipasa means thirst. Okay, and he's talking about this. He's giving the example of this type of sufferings which we have to tolerate in everyday life. Okay, so he's saying that why don't you see uddamsa damsa masakam masaka chutpipasadi vedanam mahatkarnavadi dukkham cha kimartha na pasyasi. So you go through, why don't you understand, you go through all these type of sufferings of like biting by mosquitoes, bugs, snakes, hunger, thirst, other type of sufferings like the suffering of wolves, you know um, scabies, shingles, chickenpox, all those types, as well as great calamities. You go through those things also. You tolerating. It's not like that. You are not tolerating. You are not experiencing suffering in your day-to-day life. Okay, the suffering is everywhere. The bite from the snakes, bite from the bugs. Hunger, thirst. These are also suffering. So why don't you see that you are already tolerating the suffering? शीतोष्ण वृष्टिपाताद्वा बन्दन व्याधि ताडनै व्याधि बन्दन ताडनै सौकुमार्यं न कर्तव्यम अन्यथा वर्धते वृथा. Okay, this type of suffering, if you become, if you act like a delicate boy, like a teenagers, then this type of sufferings, um, if you become like a timid for this type of sufferings of cold, heat, rain, wind, diseases, imprisonment, beating, then the suffering keeps on increasing. So you have to tolerate this type of sufferings. By tolerating minor type of suffering, then you will be experienced, then greater sufferings will become will easily be will become tolerable. Okay. केचित् स्वशोणितं दृष्ट्वा विक्रमन्ते विशेषतः परशोणितम् अपि एके दृष्ट्वा मूर्छां वज्रन्ति it. Here he is saying that, and then let's go to next stanza also, then it will become more clear. तच्चित्तस्य दृढत्वेन कातरत्वेन चागतं दुःख दुर्योधन तस्मात् भवेत् अभिभवेत् व्यथाम्. So in stanza 17, he's saying that there are peoples who become specifically more brave, on seeing their own blood. Okay, if they go to the battlefield, and if someone, attack them, and then if they see the blood in their body, their own blood, they become more brave, more aggressive. And there are some people who faint even seeing, other people's blood. That is happening because of the practice of patience. Through the practice of patience, if your mind becomes strong, then you can tolerate seeing the sight tolerate the sight of the blood in your body. And if you haven't practiced, then your mind become timid, and then you faint even seeing the red color floating on the road. You will faint. Okay, so that is because of the firmness and timidity of the mind. That is why dukkha duryodhana tasmat. That is why you should become insurmountable by suffering, by overcoming the suffering. Okay, you should not be overcome by the suffering. You should overcome the suffering and become this strong, because of your timidity or firmness of your mind, which you acquire through practice, will make you strong and go through all the hurdles in your life, or faint even seeing other people's blood in your body. Dukepi naiva chittase prasadam chova. So even though you have suffering in your life, you should never allow those suffering disturb your mind. You should never allow those things destroy calmness of your mind, because sangramo hi saha klese yuddesa sulabha betha. Here you are waging the war with your own afflictions, and where there is battle, the suffering is natural. And here you are battling with your own afflictions, and when there is battle, then affliction is obvious there. Okay, you can't avoid the affliction when you are fighting with something, whether you are fighting with outside enemy or inside enemy. That is why you need to be very strong, um, because there is suffering everywhere. Even if you don't do, suffering will come to you. So take that type of suffering, which will help you fight against the external and internal enemies, and help you to um, go toward the happiness. Okay, get you out of that happiness, sorry, suffering. So bear that type of suffering. Don't be timid to bear that type of suffering. That will help you go out of the suffering realms. उरसा राति घातान ए प्रतिछन्तो जयन्तरिन तेते विजयिन सुरा शेषास्तु mृतमारका. So those who receive the blow of enemy in the battlefield on their chest, they will win the enemy. Those who cannot face their enemy, they just run away. And this type of, the timid person can kill only the dead person who is already dead. They will kill the dead person who is already dead. But the real courageous person, victorious person, are those who will receive the blow of the enemy on their chest. Okay, and these are the real fighters. So he's saying us to be real fighter. Face your suffering. Don't run away from the suffering. That is the conclusion of these stanzas. Guru parasta dukkha se es sambegad madachutihi. Now we all don't want suffering, but here in this stanza 21, he is showing what is the good qualities of the suffering. Okay, so guru parasa dukkha se, what are the qualities? The suffering has the good qualities. Es sambegad madachyuti, due to force of this suffering. Okay, you due to its force, your intoxication of arrogance. I've written here your arrogance. Sambegad madachyuti. Mother means intoxication. So you get intoxicated when you become arrogant. So when you've experienced the suffering in your life, that intoxication will be removed. Okay, your arrogance will be destroyed by the suffering, and you become detoxicated. Otherwise, whoever haven't seen any suffering, they live their like intoxicated. But suffering make them see the reality the way it is. Okay, that is the one quality of the suffering according to Acharya Santideva. And number two, another advantage, another good quality of the suffering is that when you have yourself experienced any suffering, then you see the world around being suffering, then you compassion will develop in your heart for those people. And then the third quality of the suffering is you become fearful of doing any non-virtuous deed, because you know that because in the past you did the non-virtuous deed, that is why you are suffering now. So you will hesitate to do non-virtuous deed again. Here sin means when you translate pap, it will be translated as sin, but when we Buddhists call pap, we mean uh, non-virtuous deed. Okay, I'll just change it to non-virtuous deed, because when you say sin, then it will be like other religion, sin means different meaning. In Buddhism, sin means different meaning. So fear of non-virtuous deeds arise in you because of the suffering, and then you will long for the Buddha and his teaching, because you know that Buddha is already liberated from the suffering, and he has the way, he has the medicine which will help you to get out of the suffering. So you will long for him, because you are now experiencing the suffering here, you are experiencing the mental and physical pain. So you want to know Buddha's teaching only because after you suffer. Okay, otherwise if you are not suffering, why would you need any doctor, isn't it? So once you become sick, that sickness will force your arrogance away, will attack your arrogance. You become humble. Compassion will develop for other beings who are suffering like you, and then you become fearful of the non-virtuous deed would make you suffer, and then you will want to see the doctor. You longing for the Buddha and his teaching will arise. So that are the qualities of the suffering according to Acharya Santibaba. Longing for Buddha, let's write in bracket, and his teaching arises. Okay. Okay, let's move forward. And the stanza is Pita disu na me kopo maha dukha kare sopi sachetanesu kim kopa tepi prataye kopita. Now, from this stanza, we'll see that he is starting to talk about the main principle of the um, Buddhist principle, okay, Mahayana Buddhist principle, which says that not only Mahayana, actually every branch of the Buddhism believe that believe on the dependent origination, okay, karma, hetu, fall, um, siddhanta, okay. So he's starting to um, talk about how everything is um, dependent on or controlled by something else. So now he starts his talk about the dependent origination of the anger and everything by saying by starting with this stanza that you get when you are sick, the main reason behind of your sickness is the unbalance of three substance like bile. We say in Nepali Bat, Pitta, um, okay, so three elements: bile, Pitta, and one more, um, cough. Okay, so flame, bile, and the air element. So when there is disbalance in these three elements, then you get sick. Okay, so Acharya Santideva is saying in this stanza that when you get sick, the reason behind, I mean, cause behind your reason behind your sickness is the disbalance of the materials, substances like biles. You don't get angry on those biles. You don't get angry on the coughs. You don't get angry on the in the air elements, which is causing the sickness in you. Then why do you get angry um, on the living beings who are hurting you? Um, they too are also controlled by something else. They are also getting angry because of some different conditioning. Some there is a causes and condition behind the angers shown by living being. So why do you get angry with such living beings? Anisthya chulam utpadete etha. Suffering arises even though not desire. No one desires the suffering, but it arises even though you don't desire. In the same way, anishyamado pibalat krodha utpadete tatha. In the same way, the anger arises forcefully even though we don't desire it. Okay, no one desires suffering, no one desires the anger, but still it is produced. That means we our anger is not under our control. Okay, it arises itself depending on the causes and conditions, other causes and conditions. It is not under our control, so it is arising forcefully. Kupyamiti na sanchitya kupeti स्वेच्छया जिन. People don't get angry, wishfully by thinking that I will get angry now. उत्पस्य इत्यभिप्रेत्य क्रोधम उत्पद्यते न च. In the same way, anger also doesn't arises by thinking that, oh, I will arise now. ये केचित् अपराधाश्च पापानि विविधानि च सर्वं तत्प्रत्यय बलात् स्वतन्त्रं न तु विद्यते. All the different types of crime you see and all the different type of unvirtuous acts too, people do those type of acts under the force of something, some other causes and condition. Okay, so nothing exists independently, so there is always reason behind or causes and condition behind arising of the everything, not only anger, everything. न च प्रत्यय सामग्र्या जनायामीति चेतना न चापि जनितस्यास्ति जनितो स्मृति चेतना. So everything arises because of the causes and condition, and that causes and condition also don't have intention of producing something, nor that which is produced knows that I'm getting produced now, I'm produced now. So no one has that intention. Okay, it's just causes and condition when mixed together, things get produced. Okay, there is no intention behind producing of anything. यत् प्रधान किलाभिष्टम एतदात्मेति कल्पितम तदेव हि भवामीति न संचित्योपजायते. Okay, here he is talking about the the view of he is refuting the view of Sankhya philosophy. Okay, so Sankhya people, they believe that there are pradhan tattva and there is soul and everything gets produced from there from there. Okay, they believe that this pradhan tattva or main substance and the soul are independently existing entities. And Acharya Santideva is saying such independence is not possible, because to get produce, to produce something, you should have intention there, and you need some causes and condition to produce something. So if you need causes and condition to produce something, material to produce something, then that means that you are not independent. You are dependent on that causes and condition to produce something else. So which needs something else to produce something else, that means that that thing is not solely independent thing. That thing also, in this case, soul and pradhan tattva or main substance are also not independent. They also don't produce, or they also don't become thinking that I become. To add his to justify his view, to strengthen his own this view, he's saying this another line, which is 28, stanza 28. Anutpannam hi tada nasti ka icchad bhavitum tata visaya vyapita tattvascha nirodhvumapi nehate. As the Sankhya philosophy believes that the soul and then main substance are the two independent entity, and when they come together and things get produced, this world get produced. We'll go in more detail about this philosophy in chapter 9. But for now, he's using this point, like main substance, soul, to say that even soul and then main substance also not independently existing. Okay, they are also under the influence of causes and condition. Because okay, let's say let's believe that soul produces the thing, or soul nothing can produce the soul, it is self producing. Okay, independent thing. So Acharya Santideva is saying before it is produced, who is wishing there to get produce? And if something is permanent, then if someone is produced from one state to another state, that means there is change happening. When there is change happening, that means that entity is not independent. Okay, so you are saying soul is independent things. So from where, from the point the soul is produced, what was there before microsecond ahead of that production of the soul, and who is there who is wishing to get produced there? And also once it is produced, it is engaged, that which is engaged with the object will not want to stop. Who is stopping it? If soul is produced, if it is stopped, that means that there is some external resistance which is making the soul to produce, to get produced, or to stop, which means that soul is not independently existing. It is also under the influence of that external resistance or external force. नित्यो ह्यचेतनश्चात्मा व्योमवत् स्फुटम् अक्रिय प्रत्ययान्तरसङ्गेऽपि निर्विकारस्य का क्रिया. And the believer of soul, permanent soul, they think that, they say that soul is permanent, inanimate, and it's clear like space, and it doesn't do any action. So even though there is causes and condition in its surrounding environment, because the soul is devoid of any action, what difference does it make if it doesn't come in contact with, even though if it comes in contact with the causes and condition, what difference does it make? It doesn't do anything. Soul doesn't do anything. what what differences the causes and condition will make this unchangeable soul? This is the view of the Sankhya's, okay, or the believer of permanent independent entity which they label as soul. Okay, and then to answer this, Acharya Santideva is saying in stanza 30, Yaha purvavat kriya kale kriya yastena kim kritam. So if you say that the soul is independently existing, and even though there is causes and condition, it doesn't do anything. It is a clear inanimate thing. Since it doesn't do anything, then it is permanent. So the causes and condition doesn't change it. And Acharya Santideva is saying, okay, your soul is same as before, okay, before any action happened. Then how does it act? How does you say that soul created, or God created, God element or soul element created this world? Okay, you say that, that's what you believe. And then in another hand, you're saying that it is inactive, it is devoid of action, it doesn't do anything. Then how does it create the things? And what is its relation in this type of creations? What is the basis that binds the soul with that action if it doesn't do anything? Okay, you say that soul created the world, God created the world, and then in one hand you say that, and then in another hand you say that it is inactive, it doesn't do anything, it is clear, devoid of action. So it is two mutually contradicting. You are contracting. I mean, what is the word I'm behind? Contradicting. Okay, contradicting your own saying. Okay, you are saying that soul created in um, one instance, and then another time you say that don't do anything. It is a inactive thing. Then Acharya Santideva is asking to these people who believe that independent soul who creates the everything but remains inactive, mutually contradicting statement they are giving. He's saying that what is the then relationship between, what is the relationship between this soul and the action and its creation? if creation is happening itself, how can you say that soul is creating this creation? Okay, so in this way, he is saying in stanza 35, Evam parabasam sarvam. Even though you believe that soul is independent, it is just your imagination. Because nothing is, if it's creating something, that means change is happening there. Okay, so if something is creating something, then this something is dependent on the causes and condition for its creation to happen. So that means this entity is not independent, it is dependent on the causes and conditions. So in this way, evam parabasam sarvam edvasam sopichavasam. So everything is under the control of others, and that with controller, too is also under the control from everywhere. Nirmanabad ajestesu bhavesam soevam kokopit. So everything is like constructed. There's no any intention there. There's no any mind which is playing the role. So everything is like manufactured by the causes and condition without any intention. Then who gets angry on such things which are produced without wish, without any mind? Bharadapi na yuktayam. Okay. So then the another side of whoever believes in the permanent soul. Buddhists are believer of the dependent origination. Okay, and then anti Buddhists are the believer of the permanent entity which creates the creation. But Buddhists believe that everything is created depending on the causes and condition. Okay, so Acharya Santideva refuted the view of those non-Buddhists who believe that everything is created by soul. Okay, now they ask to the Buddhists. Okay, those non-Buddhists ask to the Buddhists, then if you say everything is dependent on causes and conditions, then who is going to stop what? Whom? Okay, so we become helpless, and everything is causes and condition. There's no beings who is controlling everything, so everything will go on. There's no one to stop that. Okay, who will restrain who will stop the things to happen if everything is dependent on causes and condition, and if there is no external force which is there to stop, then what's the point of stopping, and who will stop what? And Acharya Santideva says that this way of thinking is also not appropriate, because it is believed that cessation of suffering is possible from the theory of a principle of the dependent origination. So we will discuss in more detail when we come to chapter 9. So for now, let's just understand this point. He's giving these points to make point that nothing is independent. Your your anger is also not independent. The anger shown by enemy is also not independent, and that enemy is also not independent. So everything is dependent on other things, and that who is controlling this thing is also under control of another things. Okay, so as if they are manufactured, there's no mind in there, they are just manufacturers. So who gets angry on this type of manufacturers thing? That's the point he's trying to make here. बारणापि न युक्तैहं क किं वारयतीति चेत् युक्त प्रतित्यता अस्मात् दुःखस्य परन्तिमता. Okay, only the dependent origination principle has capacity to stop the suffering, because suffering are not created by any godly soul type of things. It is created by causes and conditions. By playing with that causes and conditions, you can stop the cessation. Since any god or soul or supreme power has not created the suffering, they are also not able to stop that suffering. Anything that is able to stop that suffering is the dependent origination view of dependent origination. Okay, let's move forward. तस्माद् अमित्रं मित्रं वा दृष्ट्वाप्यन्ये अन्यायकारिणम् ईदृशा प्रत्यया अस्य ते अस्य इति evam matva sukhi bhavet. Okay, that is why, so we were starting to talk about the anger, um, and how to have patience on those anger. In that context, he started talking about nothing is permanent, your anger is also not permanent. I mean, nothing is independent, and your anger and the person who is showing anger toward you is also not independent. So your friend, your enemy, having this view of dependent origination, um, when you see the friends, or when you see the enemies, or when you see a biased person, you need to think that these are the causes and condition of this behavior shown by friends, foes, or bias. Thinking such, having such view, you should always remain the happy. Okay, if you have this view of dependent origination, you will not see human being, you will see the causes and condition behind that. And once you see the causes and condition, the anger cannot arise there, because everything is mindless there. Nothing is controlling there. I mean, no mind is controlling there. They are controlled by causes and condition. And who gets angry on that causes and condition? You don't get angry on the bias, you don't get angry on the flames because they are causing you pain. Why do you get angry on your enemy? Because he is also controlled by causes and condition. Like your disease is produced because of the bias, disbalance in certain elements inside your body, non-material, non-organic elements. Similarly, your friend, your enemy, the behavior they are showing towards you are also under due to the causes and condition. If you by thinking such, you should always remain happy. यदि तु स्वेच्छया सिद्धि सर्वेषामेव देहिनां न भवेत् कस्यचित् दुःखं न कस्यचित् दुःख इच्छति. So here also he's saying, if everyone wishes, if everyone, everything is under the control of them, then no one will wish to be no one will want to suffer. No one will wish the suffering. So nothing is under the control of their power. That is why people are suffering. They are suffering because of force of something else. They are not suffering because of their wish. So everything is happening against their wish. Pramadadatma Datma Natmanam Padante Kantaka Devi Bhaktastheda Devi Kopa Dura Pastraya Dis Lipsaya. Okay, now he's giving example how people get under the control of anger, and under the control of anger they hurt themselves for other, especially because he's a monk, he's addressing the monks, so he's saying how other people for to get women's, and they harm, if they don't find the woman they want, they harm themselves with sharp objects under the control of anger. They even go for the hunger strike, and then in the stanza 36 he's saying udbandana prapataisa visapatyadi bachane. By this they nidnanti kechid atmanam punya charan apunya charanenasa. Okay, some kill themselves by resorting on the non-virtuous deeds such as hanging, jumping off the cliff, consuming poison, because these beings are under the control of anger. So they kill themselves. The anger is making them to kill themselves. Okay, they're not killing because of their own wish. They are not suffering because of their own wish, but the anger, because they are under the control of anger, they are killing themselves, doing all sort of non-virtuous deeds. यदैवं क्लेशवश्यत्वात् धनन्त्यात्मानमपि प्रियं तदेषां परकायेषु परिहारः कथं भवेत्. Okay, if someone is coming and insulting you, he's angry, he's unhappy, so that unhappiness is manifesting in the form of behavior he's showing through the body, speech and minds toward you. Okay, it's not he is doing, it's the anger making him to do that. This type of people, this type of angry people, on the extreme case, they resort to killing themselves under the anger. Then for that type of person, it's not possible for them. How is it possible for them to avoid your body? They can kill your body as well as they can kill, I mean, their own body in that anger, and in same anger they can kill your body also. Klesonmati kirtesvesu praviteswatmaghatane. So this type of people who act stirred up by harmful emotions, who act under the control of anger, who have tendency to self harm, you should have mercy for them. Okay, not only having the mercy for them, how can you show your anger to them? How can you retaliate to them? How can you know take revenge to them? They are the poor pathetic being who are angry. Under the influence of anger they can even kill themselves. They can even damage their own body. How do you expect that they will um, leave you alone? They can kill anyone including themselves. So you should have compassion for them. You should not be reactive towards their anger. यदि स्वभावो बालानां परोपद्रवकारिता तेषु कोपो न युक्तो मे यथाग्नौ दहनात्मके. Okay, this type of angry people are like fire. Okay, their nature is to kill, I mean burn other. And if someone has, if someone childish behavior, people showing the childish behavior, um, this type of people are the childish people who want to cause harms to other. Okay, seeing on them, I should not be getting angry for them, because their nature is like burning other people, like a fire will burn other people. Similarly, these people will harm, these angry people will harm you, because they don't know what they're doing. Okay, they are like a childish people. A child doesn't know what they're doing. Similarly, those angry people who are disturbing your peace, irritating you, are like the childish people whose nature is to burn fire. I mean, burn like a fire. Even in that case too, your anger is not justified, is not appropriate. Even though someone is coming to harm you, your anger toward them is not justifiable. Okay, anger is never justified. That's what he's saying here. अथ द्वेषो यमागन्तु सत्त्व प्रकृति पेशला तथापि उक्तस्तत्कोप कटु धूमे यथाम्बरे. And if the faults are in extrinsic, I mean coming from outside, it's not the intrinsic nature of any beings. Okay, it comes from outside. Then in that case also, your anger is not justified for them, because those anger are like a pungent smoke in the sky. You don't get angry at sky for having the pungent those bitter type of smoke, burning type of smoke, for having those type of smoke in the sky. You don't get. Similarly, this angry person who are coming to harm you, they are also, their anger is also like pungent smoke in the sky. So in that case also, you don't get angry toward this pungent smoke, um, which is present in the sky, which is present in this angry people who are um, disturbing you, disturbing mental peace. So he is trying to teach through these stanzas how to be not affected by external environment, external people. Yes, there are people who will try to annoy you. Not only people annoy you, there are the situations, there are the things which you don't like, will make you sad. And when you are sad, anger will arise, and that sadness will act as a fuel to to intensify that anger. So he is teaching us to not get under the influence of those external people, those external things. um, okay, so always remain under the own control, not the control of the external environment. Some of the external environments are like human beings. Some are external, some are hurting us because of our affections, attachments to our those things and those peoples. So like your attachment towards the praise, you know your attachment toward the profit. The profits, when you have that attachment, they will hurt you. So not only beings, sometimes you think that you are um, innocent, and another force, external force or external person is hurting you. You innocent, so-called innocent being. But that insult, why you taking that things as your insult? Because you are at ease with your reputation. When someone insults you, it hurts your reputation. So your attachment towards your reputations is making you to think that another person as someone who is trying to hurt you. If you're not attached to your reputation, doesn't matter how many blames you get from outside, doesn't matter how many you know angry words comes from outside, you should not be affected, because you are attached to your body, you are attached to your mind, you are attached to the your reputation, you are attached to your happiness. That's why anyone externals, if they say anything, any comment about anything about you, you get angry. So if you practice patience, then those external things do not have capacity to disturb you, agitate you. Your mind will become very firm, like a mountain. No one can shake it. No comment can shake it. Okay, so Acharya Santideva in this chapter is trying to teach you how to make your mind unshakable, like a Mount Meru. Okay, let's go forward. मुख्यं दण्डकाधिकं हित्वा प्रेरके यदि कुप्यते द्वेषेण प्रेरित सोऽपि द्वेषे द्वेषोऽस्तु मे वरम्. Okay, imagine someone is hitting you with a stick. Okay, then that stick hitting or touching in your body is giving you pain. Okay, but you don't get angry on that stick, but you get angry on that stick holder. But that stick holder is also stimulated by the anger. Then rather than showing your anger, to this stick holder, you should be showing your anger to that anger. Okay, anger is making this stick holder hold the stick and hit you with the stick. So stick is controlled by the stick holder and stick holder is controlled by the anger. So he is saying, Acharya Sandeva is saying, if you don't get angry on that stick, why do you get angry on the stick holder, weapon holder? Because that weapon holder is also controlled by the anger. So it's better to show your anger to the anger. Okay. So mayapi purvam sattvanam idrisaiva bethakrita tasmanme yuktam evaitat sattvopadrava karina. So I too also have heard other people in the past. Let me correct this spelling, P-A-S-T, past. That is why someone is hitting me. So this treatment is proper for me, who have caused negative, who had acted negatively in the past. That is the reason I'm getting hit today now. So it's really appropriate that someone else is hitting me. Is the because of my past negative karma, I'm getting this result now. So it's appropriate now. I should not be angry with that someone else who is hitting me. Is the cause of me getting hit by someone else is my own negative karma. तत्शस्त्रस् मम कायस्य दोयं दुःखस्य कारणं तेन शस्त्रं मया कायो गृहीतः कुत्र कुप्यते. Okay, someone is hitting you. There is a two reason. There are two causes behind the pain you're getting while some stick is hitting. One is that stick and your body. Imagine you had the body as strong as, let's say elephant. No, if the same stick hits the elephant, elephant doesn't get hurt. But if that same stick hits us, then we get hurt because our body is so vulnerable. Okay, we are not strong. We feel the experience. We experience the pain differently than elephant. So, what is the causes behind experiencing that pain different than animal is our body, because our skin is not thick as elephant. So one cause is my body, another cause is here the weapon, which is used to hit me by my enemy. So that cause, one cause is taken by my enemy, which is weapon, and another cause is taken by me. So where should I get angry? I should be whether should I be angry at myself for taking this body, or should I be angry with my enemy for taking that weapon? गण्डोऽयं गण्ड अयं प्रतिमाकारो गृहीतो घटनासः तृष्णान्तेन मया तत्र व्यथायां कुत्र कुप्यते. Okay, so he's comparing his body as a, gando means it's a boil, it's a kind of, big pimple where there's lots of pus there. So it's so painful. I don't know how many of you have experienced that. Even if you toss, very slightly, then you'll feel really you will experience really, very pain. It's really painful type of, pimple. It's a big one, and it looks very. I mean, it looks small from outside. The mouth is small, but the pus is too much inside. So he's comparing our body with that boil. It is called boil. You can research, boil in the Google and find out about it. It's really painful. So he is seeing our body. Pratimakaro means this body as a gonda. Okay, gonda means the boil, which is not able to tolerate even a small rubbings. And I took this body. Why did I took this body? Because I had a craving to have body. So I craved for this body, so I took this body under the influence of craving. Now I can't even toss, I can't bear the small, simple rubbing also. Then where should I be angry for the pain I'm happening in this body? I'm the one who took this body. Now the pain is happening. Where else I should be angry for the pain? I'm the reason who took this body. So I should be angry with myself, not the external enemy. Why did I take this timid, I mean this fragile body that anyone can come and hit me and I experience the pain? It's my own craving, it's my own ignorance, it's my own attachment which make me take this body. So there's no point getting angry to the external person who is taking that weapon and hitting me. Dukham nechami dukhase hetu michami balis. Oh, okay, I want this body. Okay, this is the cause of the suffering. I don't want that suffering, but I want this body. Dukham nechami dukhase hetu michami balisa. Okay, I want this. I don't want the suffering, but I want the cause of suffering. Okay, I want this body, which is the cause of suffering, but I don't want the suffering. It's a childish behavior. स्वपराधा गते दुःखे कस्मात् अन्यत्र कुप्यते. Okay, dukham nichami dukkase hetu michami bari. So like a child, I don't want the suffering, but I want the cause of suffering. Then soparada gate dukhe. This body, the why should I get? Why should I show my anger to another beings for the suffering which has come to me due to my own fault? Okay, my own ignorance made me take this body. Now, which is this body is the cause of suffering. So why should I get angry with to another person when I'm the one who chose this body? It's my own fault. I chose the cause of the suffering, this body. Now, because I have this body, suffering is, you can't avoid the suffering. You will definitely have the suffering. So who make you choose this body? Who make you take the body? Your own ignorance. Had you taken the body of the elephant with a thick skin, no matter how many people hit you, you would not even feel any pain. Okay, that's what he's trying to say in these stanzas. Okay, asipatra vanam edvat etha naraka pachina matkarma janita eva tathedam kutra kupete. Okay, these enemies, these weapons looks like sword, looks like a forest of hell which has the leaves which are as sharp as sword. um you know so these weapons are like um, trees of the hell, and the birds of the hell, the enemies are like birds of the hells. These are produced because of my own past non-virtuous deed. Then where should I sow this anger? मत्कर्म चोदिता एव जाता मये अपकारिण येन यास्यन्ति नरकान् मयैवामि हताननु. Okay, so whoever is trying to harm me or hit me with the weapon, they are influenced or propelled by my own non-virtuous deeds, due to which they will hit me and they will bear the consequence of hitting me and go to the hell. And definitely I'm the one who is destroying them. Although they are hitting me with the weapon, I will not go to the hell, but they will go to the hell. But what is the reason for them going to hell? Me. So I'm the one who is destroying them. They are not destroying me. I'm the one who is destroying them. एतानाश्रित्य मे पापम क्षीयते क्षेमतो बहु ममाश्रित्य तुर्यांते ते narakan dirghavedanan. Okay, dependent on them, if I practice the patience, my several non-virtuous deeds can get destroyed. So they can be cause of destruction of my non-virtuous deed. But depending on me, they will go to the hell where they have to experience the long-lasting suffering. See, that's how the realized beings see. They see exactly opposite of the way we see. Okay, the person we see as an enemy, I mean, the if I see someone else is hurting me, coming to hurt me, but they see that with this, their intention to hurt me is a non-virtuous deed. Okay, they hurting me is a non-virtuous deed, due to which they will go to the hell, and their action of hurting me. So I am the cause of pushing them in the hell. So that's how the realized beings see, a practitioner of the patience see. But who are not practicing, like childish being like us, will see that that person hit me, hurt me. No, that hurting will last only for how many seconds, or 1 hour, one year, or one life. But with this result, they can go in the hell and suffer there for a long time. Which is more painful, my suffering of this life or their suffering of going to the hell? Definitely their suffering, which they will have to experience in the hell, is more dangerous than my suffering of this life because of they hitting me with the weapon. So they are seeing their suffering because of their enemy hitting me is far more less than the suffering they will be experiencing in the hell. That's how they generate the compassion for the towards the enemies, and they don't get angry towards the enemy. They see the suffering he will be experiencing because of his action towards you. They generate the compassion. No, if you know that someone who is hitting you will suffer in the hell for incountable number of times, then do you have compassion for that enemy, or you still get angry towards them? Obviously you will have compassion for them, isn't it? Okay, let's go to next stanza. Aham eva apakare sam mamaite chupakari. Now he's seeing his enemy as his someone who is um, doing good to him, but he is seeing himself as someone who is hurting his enemy more than the enemy hurting him. Aham eva apakare sam. I'm the one who is doing that to him. But mamai te chopakarina. That person is doing good to me. Kasmat viparyam kritva. Having done opposite. Oh mischievous mind, why do you get angry? He's talking to himself. Okay. Bhavet mamasaya gudo noyami narakan edi esa matra kimayatam Yadhyatma Rachitomaya. Okay, he's saying, okay, I have good quality of intention. That is why I won't go to the hell. But if I protect myself by fighting with that enemy, what he will get? He won't get anything if I become protective and take revenge with him. Atha prataya kari sam tatha pete na rachita. If even if I do the revenge, even if I become revengeful, still they don't get protected. And also, if I become the revengeful, my own conduct will also get destroyed, and that unfortunate being will also go to the to the more suffering realms. So here both will lose. Even if you retaliate, take revenge to another person, both will be in the loss. Okay, no one will win. Atha pratyayakari syam tatha pete na rachita. Even though if I become revengeful, that person will not get protected. Hiete chapi me charya. My own conduct will get destroyed. Tasma nasta tapasmina. And that unfortunate being will also get destroyed from that, you know, that action of taking revenge. Okay. Okay, let's put this from that in the bracket. Manohantum amurtatvat na sakyam kenachit kochit. My mind is formless. Even though people hit me, they can't hit my mind. It's my body which is getting hit. Sarira vinivesatu, because my mind is attached to this body, I'm getting pain, you know, mental pain. Chittam dukkhena badise. Okay, if I don't have attachment on this body, then no matter how many people will kick it or hit it, my mind will not lose its calmness. But because mind is attached to this body, the mind is getting agitated because of someone hitting this body. But the mind, in fact, is formless. Mind is not getting hurt. Body is getting hurt, hit. Nekara parusam vakyam ayesaschetyayam gada kayam nabadeti tena cheta kasmat prakupe. Similarly, if someone, you know, insult you, you know, throw the harsh speech towards you, blames you, no, the mind should not be get hurt by that because mind is formless. And also kai also, you know, those insult, harsh speech, blame are just the word, you know, they should not be hurting the body. Okay, here two things. Okay, 52, let's go back to 52 here. Now someone is using the weapon to hit your body. Why does mind gets affected? Mind is formless is the weapon is not touching the mind, is touching the body. Why is the mind getting affected? Okay, in this stanza he's saying in 52. In 53 what he says is, you know, the insult, harsh words, blame are the formless. They should not be touching the body. No matter how much people throw the harsh words on you, it can't touch the body. And if it doesn't, if it doesn't touch the body, oh mind, why are you getting angry? Even someone throws the weapon at you, it is attacking the body. Oh mind, why are you getting angry? If someone using the insult and harsh speech on you, those speech can't touch the body. Even then, you getting, why you getting, oh mind, why you getting angry? Okay, that's what he's saying in stanza 53. Maya aprasado yo annesam samam kim bachaisyasi bachaisyati yah janmantare vapi enna saumin me anavipsita. Okay, someone is angry with you. So what? That anger can't hit me. Okay, that anger cannot eat me. So why should you dislike someone who is unhappy with you? So our is like, you know, when if someone is unhappy with you, we just go and fight with them. Why are you unhappy with me? It doesn't matter if someone is unhappy with you. It doesn't eat you. Why don't you? Why you? It's like you should fight with them. Why should you dislike them? If someone is not happy with you, let it be. It doesn't eat you. लाभान्तराय कारित्वात् यद्य सौमे न विप्सिता नङ्क्षयति हैव मे लाभ papam tu stasayeti dhruvam. Okay, in this case, okay, so enemy, you know, okay, enemy creates the obstacle in the profit, my profit. Okay, whatever, if I'm trying to do something, then If someone creates the obstacle in my profit, that's why I'm angry with them. And Acharya Santideva is saying, even then, your anger is not justified, because whatever profit you get in this life, it will destroy in this life. Okay, once you die, those profit will just be left behind. But the result of this negative karma of being angry towards another being, you have to suffer that, experience the result of the suffering will stay with you for a long time, long time. Varam adaiva me mrityu na mithya jivitam chiram यसमा चिरमपि स्थित्वा मृत्यु दुःखम तदैव मे. Okay, it is better to have shortly a life, rather than having a very long life and doing the immoral things. Because even then, even doesn't matter how long I live, if I do the immoral thing, then the pain I would be experiencing at the time of death will still be same. So it's better to die early than to live longer doing immoral, non-virtuous thing. Because your length of um, years or time you lived in this life will not take ease that suffering you will be experiencing at the time of death. स्वप्ने वर्ष शतम सौख्यम भुक्त्वा यश्च विबुध्यते मुहूर्त अपरो यस्य सुखी भूत्वा विबुध्यते ननु निर्वर्तते सौख्यम द्वयोरपि बुबुद्धयो स्वैवोपमा मृत्युकाले चिरजीव्य अल्पजीविनो. लब्ध्वापि च बहुलाभान् चिरं भुक्त्वा सुखान्यपि रिक्तहस्तश्च नग्नश्च यस्यामि मुसितो यथा पापक्षयं च पुण्यं च लाभात् जीवन करोमि चेत् पुण्यक्षयं क्षयश्च पापं च लाभार्थं कुर्दतो ननु. Okay, in previous stanza, Acharya was saying that it is better to die, early, rather than living, long life, where you create lots of negative um, karmas. Because it doesn't matter how long you live, if you don't practice, then you will have to, face that. That the fear on the pain at the time of death, whether you live long or live short. And in the stanza 57, he is saying that so he's giving the example of two people, okay, both of them are in dream. So one has experienced extreme happiness, extreme pleasure for hundreds of years, and then he wake up after that. And there is another one who experience happiness in the dream for a small moment, and he woke up. And in 58 he continues, stanza 58, he continues, nanu nirvate sokhyam doyorapi vibuddhayo. Surely whether he experienced happiness for 100 years in the dream, and another person experienced the happiness for a moment, they both cannot revive that happiness after waking up. So same metaphor, saivopama mrityukale, same metaphor applies at the time of death, whether someone lived long or lived short. Okay, so whoever lived long is also in dream, he is not awaked, and whoever lived short, that was also a dream. So when at the time of death, they both has to face that death. Labdvapi cha bahulavan chiram bhuktva sukhannepi. Even though you obtain great benefit, Okay, now he's talking about the eight worldly concerns here. Like we all want benefit, profit. We don't want loss. So Acharya Sandi Deva says, even though you got the great profits, great benefit, and even though you experience siram bhuktva sukhal nepi, even though you experience, happiness for long time, rikta hastassa nagnassa yasyami musito etha. At the time of death, when the death comes, you will leave everything here and you will leave this world empty handed and naked. There won't be even clothes in your body, as if someone has robbed those things. Your clothes and your property, your fame, your reputations, your money, everything will be robbed by the people, as if you have been robbed by someone. You will live like that. Doesn't matter how many profit or benefit or how popular you are, um, how many praises have been written or sung in your for you. You will live empty handed. Papachayam cha punyam cha lava jivan karomi chet. If you think that from the profit you gained, you will remove the negative karma and collect the merits. Punya chayam cha papam cha lavartham kuddrayeto nanu. Okay, when you um, are earning, that profit, in order to get that profit, definitely anger will arise because you have to compete with other people. Then rather than collecting the merits, you will collect the demerits, and in this process you will definitely destroy whatever little merits you have. So don't fool yourself that by earning money you will remove negative karma and collect merits, but just exactly opposite will happen, because to get the profit you definitely go through all those emotions which will be negative. Okay, so definitely you will destroy your whatever small merits you have. That's what he is saying in stanza 60. यदर्थमेव जीवामि तदेव यदि नश्यति किं तेन जीवितेनापि केवला शुभकारिणा. Okay, we all Mahayanis especially, and also non-Mahayanis Buddhist, like who are in hearer parts, whose intention is to become arhat. The motives, they are living for that goal. Okay, edarthameva jivami, for whatever purpose I am living, if that is destroyed, tadeva edi nasyati, what is the purpose of this life? Kimtena jibitenapi kevala asubhakarina, what is the purpose of living this life, this longer life, where you only do immoral acts? So it's better to die early than live longer doing immoral, non-virtuous deeds. Avarnabadini dvesa swatanan nasayet iti chet parayaskare pevam kopaste kim na jayate. Okay, so someone will make excuses that because if someone is backbiting about you, if someone is using harsh word for you, then they will definitely get destroyed. um, if this is that is why I'm getting angry towards my enemy, so that I can protect them, so people can justify their anger, harsh words, their negativity in this way. And Acharya Santideva is asking this type of mentality, people with this type of mentality, then why don't you get angry if that person is insulting or disgracing another being? You get angry only people disgrace you, but you become happy when same person disgrace your enemy. So if you are really want to, if you are really that compassionate, then anger should arise in both occasion. Only the anger arise in one occasion for you. Okay, whenever someone insult you, then only you get angry. Why don't you get angry if someone else is getting disgraced by them? Parayeta prasadetva त्वात् अप्रसादिषु ते क्षमा क्लेशोत्पाद parayete क्षमा navarnabadini. Okay, the person who is insulting you is controlled by anger. Okay, you show your patience. You forgive the people who are unhappy due to the region controlled by others. Okay, but someone who is insulting you is also controlled by the affliction. Then why don't you have patience for this type of people, because they are also under control of afflictions. Pratima stupa sadharma nasa ka krosa kesusa na yujjate mama dveso buddhadinam nahi betha. Okay, if someone is, disgracing Buddha, okay, destroying the statue of Buddha, destroying the stupas, destroying the dharma, um, showing anger toward the dharma, then too my anger is not appropriate. I can't justify my anger by saying that that person, so and so person, destroyed the Buddha statue, destroyed the stupa, destroyed the sacred dharma. Because why? Because the Buddhas, dharmas, and sanghas, those realist beings do not get any pain from, have, if someone insult them. It doesn't matter to Buddha, it doesn't matter to stupa, it doesn't matter to sacred dharma. So so that is why your anger towards this type of people with this type of mentality is not justified, cannot be justified. It's not, anger is not appropriate. Basically he's saying anger is not appropriate in any case. You can't justify anger, especially that anger which is thrown towards another beings. If you're fighting with your own internal enemy, you can use that anger as a strength, but not towards another person. Okay, if you want to wage the war with your internal enemy, the anger itself. Use your anger to destroy the anger which is present inside you, not another being outside. गुरुसालोहितादीनां प्रियाणां चापकारिषु पूर्ववत् प्रतयोत्पादं दृष्ट्वा कोपं निवारयेत्. Okay, so if someone, similarly, not only Buddha statue and stupas, if someone insult teachers, your relatives, your loved ones, um, you should control your anger as described earlier by seeing the causes and condition behind it. Dishtua kopam nivarayet. Pratyotpadam पूर्ववत् प्रत्योत्पादम दृष्ट्वा कोपम निवारयेत्. चेतना अचेतना कृता देहिनां नियता व्यथा. सा व्यथा चेतने दृष्टा क्षेमस्वैनां व्यथामता. Okay, dehinam means the body, the beings who has taken this body. So nature of this body is getting hurt or getting pain by the living and non-living being. This is the nature of this body. So since we are alive, that is why the pain is visible. Okay, you can't get rid of pain because of this body. That is why have patience in this pain. Okay, don't run away from the pain, or don't try to push the pain away. Okay, that's what he's saying. So this chapter is all about how to have patience for the unfavorable conditions. Okay, not only external beings, I mean human beings, living beings, but the things like reputation, praise, profit, all those things. Okay, these are the things which disturbs our calmness of our main mind. So we need to learn how to have patience for this external environment so that it cannot shake our mind. Okay, it cannot agitate our mind. मोहाद एके पराधेन्ति कुप्यन्ते अन्ये मोहिता अन्ये अपि मोहिता ब्रूम कमे सुनिर्दोषम kam va brumo paradhinam. Okay, here he is saying that people get angry, you know, um, because of ignorance or because of being deceived. They do wrong, all sort of negative deeds out of ignorance, in the hope that those deeds or those activities will give them pleasure or happiness. So among this type of people, who should I call innocents and who should I call offender? Because innocent people um, and offender both are under the control of ignorance and anger, and they are, whatever they're doing is motivated by this ignorance and anger, and they're doing these things in the hope that this will bring happiness to them, but they will, so in short term they might get happiness, but in long term they are creating the causes for the suffering. So who should I get angry, who should I blame? कस्माद् एवं कृतं पूर्वं येनैवं बाध्यसे परै सर्वे कर्म परायत्ता को हम अहमत्र अन्यथा कृतौ. Okay, now he's saying to himself. Okay, so this thing is for yourself, not to point these things to other people. You can't say that why did you do negative karma, very good, you are getting hurt because of your negative karma. You can't say this to people. Okay, people should realize this thing themselves. You can't make other people to realize by saying this thing to them. So here Acharya Santideva is talking to himself. Why did you do such things before? Okay, Kasmad evam kritam purvam. Why did you do these things? Due to which enavam badya separe, due to which you are getting hurt by other people. Sarve karma parayata. Everything is under control of karma. Ko aham atra ko ham tranetha krito. Okay, who am I to do anything otherwise here? Okay, everything is under the control of karma. I can't control. I can't. Everything is done because you did every suffering you are experiencing now is because of your past karma. Why did you do this type of karma that you have to suffer now in this life? Who am I to do otherwise here? So he is showing his helplessness toward the situation. Okay, and this stanza is for you to control, not to judge other people, not to give lectures to other people by saying that, oh, you did the negative karma in the past, you must have done these things, that's why you experience. No, these are not for that. Okay, these are only for you to contemplate. एवं बुद्ध्वा तु पुण्येषु तथा यत्न करोम्यहं येन सर्वे भविष्यति मैत्रचित्ता परस्परम. Okay, so having understood like this, evam buddhva tu punyeshu tatha yatnam karomyaham. Okay, having understood like this, I will exert effort to do the virtuous deeds. Okay, the virtuous deeds are categorized according to body, speech, and mind, and there are three virtuous deeds. So he's talking about those virtuous deeds. So he want to exert effort to do virtuous deed in a such a way so that everyone will have compassionate mind for each other. If by understanding the rule of the causes and conditions, the principle of causes and conditions, I will exert effort to do virtuous deed so that everyone will be happy and have compassionate mind for each other. Now here he is taking the initiation to, you know, uh, set up an example, show the people how to develop the compassion mind for each other by doing the good karma, because everything is under the control of karma. दैह्यमाने गृहे यद्वत् अग्नि गत्वा गृहान्तरं तृणादौ यत्र सचेत् तदा कृष्या पनीयते एवं चित्तम यदा संगा दैये यत् द्वेषबन्निना तत्क्षणं तत्परित्याज्यं पुण्यात्मो दाह संकया. Okay, so here now he is giving the example of a house which is burning. Okay, if there are other things nearby that burning house, then that fire can go to another house and burn that house also. So in order to prevent that happening, people go to another house and remove all the flammable things such as fire, such as dry grasses. um, they just pull it and then separate those two house so that the fire of one house doesn't get spread to another house. That's what he's saying in stanza 70. And then in stanza 71, he's saying that similarly, evam chittam edasanga, similarly, those association from which this mind, my mind has potential to burn, catch the fire, he's saying that if someone is angry person there, that anger is like a fire, and that fire can get transferred in my mind as well. So in the fear of that, instantly when you see this type of people, when you are surrounded by this type of people, you should get um, leave those type of association with those type of people instantly, fearing own virtues getting born because of the anger. मारणीयं करम छित्त्वा मुक्तश्चेत किम किम अभद्रकम मनुष्य दुःखै नरकात् मुक्तश्चेत किम अभद्रकम. Okay, he is saying that, okay, I'm experiencing the suffering now. This suffering could have I could have experienced this suffering while I was in I would be in hell realm. In those hell realm, this suffering becomes more extreme. It is good that I'm getting that suffering in this human realm, because in human realm nothing lasts for long. Okay, compared to hell realm, in hell realm same suffering can feel like you have been experiencing these sufferings for eon and eon. But in human realm, your life is maximum 70 80 years, and in those 70 or 80 years of realm in life, suffering is is not that long lasting. Okay, you don't suffer continuously. So suffering goes comes, so it's impermanent is more obvious. Impermanence is more obvious. Impermanence of suffering as well as happiness is more obvious in human realm, because you can see, rising and falling, arising and going of the suffering, arising and going of the happiness. But in the hell realm, the suffering is so long that you can't see the impermanence there. The mind in which is stuck in the hell realm cannot see the suffering, ending of the suffering. So in this stanza he's saying that for someone who is getting killed, who is about to kill, if he um, loses its hand, then what is the harm in it? Okay, rather than getting killed, it's better to get the hand chopped off, isn't it? Similarly, rather than getting the experience of suffering in the hell realm, it's better I'm experiencing this pain in the human realm, because compared to hell realm, the suffering is less extreme in the human realms. And then what is harm in it? My past negative karma ripen in this human realm rather than hell realm, so I should not be sad for the suffering I'm getting in human realms. That's what the stanza 72 means. यद्य तन्मात्र मे वाद्य दुःखं सोढुं न पार्यते तन्नारकः व्यथा हेतु क्रोध कस्मात् न वार्यते. Okay, so you are not able to bear minor pains of these human realms. Then why don't you control your anger, which is the cause of suffering in hell? Why don't you bar this anger? It will lead you to the hell and make you experience those suffering. You can't bear the small minor suffering of this human life. Then why are you creating causes of the suffering which you can experience in the hell? Why can't you control your anger, which is the cause of the suffering in the hell? कोपार्थमेव मेवाहं नरकेषु सहस्रश कारितोऽस्मि न चात्मार्थ parartho va krito maya. Okay, in this way, because of my anger, I have been in the hell for 1,000 years. And while I was in here, neither I do anything for myself nor for the other people. So my life in the hell went wasted because I could not do anything in that hell. न चेदं तादृशं दुःखं महार्थं च करिष्यति जगद्दुःख हरे दुःखे प्रीतिरेवात्र युज्यते. Okay, those type of suffering in the hell you bear, but you doesn't matter how long you experience those suffering, it didn't take you or remove the suffering. Okay, but the suffering you will be experiencing while doing the while walking in the path, while practicing the dharma will is not like that type of suffering of the hell. It will remove the suffering of the this suffering of the practice will remove the suffering of the world. So this type of suffering affection is appropriate for this type of suffering where you experience the suffering while walking in the path, because this type of suffering is good. It's like your doctor is giving you injection to remove the some disease from the body. So that injection will also lead to suffering, but that will cure your disease. That's what he meant in stanza 75. यदि प्रीति सुखम प्राप्यम अन्य स्थित्वा गुरोर्जितम मनस्तोमपि तम स्तुत्वा कस्मात् एवं न हर्षति. Okay, here he's suggesting people how to be happy. Okay, so you can get happiness by praising other people's good qualities. Okay, those good qualities are earned by those people, but you can earn same pleasure by praising those quality. Then why don't you be happy in the same way by praising that? You can have that happiness also by praising. Then, oh mind, why don't you be happy by seeing, by praising the good quality of other people? Idam cha te सृष्टि सुखम निरवध्यम सुखोदयम नबारितम च गुणिभि paravarjanamuttamam. Okay, so this type of pleasure, by or happiness you get by praising good qualities in other is not prohibited by wise being, because this type of happiness or this type of pleasure is flawless. There is no any flaw there, and it's excellent, and it has capacity to produce more happiness, not only in others but not only yourself but others too, and it will attract other beings towards you. If you praise them, they get attracted towards you and they start listening to you. So, oh mind, why don't you be happy by praising other people's good quality. तस्यैव सुखमित्येवं तदेवं यदि न प्रियं भृतिदानादिविरते virate dista dristam hatam bhavet. Okay, someone can make excuse that okay, if I praise them, that another person will be happy. What will I get from that? If that is your reason for not being happy, or that is the reason for not liking another being, if you use same logic and don't give the wages to um, or donation to your servant or other people, then you will destroy not only this life, dista and adista means future life which you haven't seen. Those both life will be destroyed if you have this type of mentality of not praising another people because they will get happiness. What will I get? Okay, so this type of mentality is very dangerous. That's what Acharya Santideva is saying in stanza 78. स्वगुणे कीर्तिमाने च परसौख्यमपि इच्छसि कीर्तिमाने परगुणे स्वसौख्यमपि नेच्छसि. Okay, so he's showing the how we ignorant beings are. If someone praise our quality, then we become happy and um, we wish happiness for that another being who is praising me. But if same praise is directed toward another beings, then we become unhappy. And being unhappy means wishing not happiness to yourself. So he is talking about the our jealousy, jealous behavior of the ordinary beings. When someone praise me, I become happy. But when we hear the same praising of other people's quality, then we don't wish my own happiness. Okay, I being jealous means being unhappy. Okay, we wish unhappiness for ourselves if someone is praising someone else, not me. बोधिचित्तं समुत्पादं सर्वसत्त्वसुखेच्छया स्वयं लब्धसुखेष्वद्य कस्मात् सत्त्वेषु कुप्यसि. Okay, here he is saying, he is reminding why did we generate the bodhicitta. We generated the bodhicitta so that we can bring happiness to everyone. But now someone is getting happy by themselves, then why are you getting angry with those beings who are getting happiness themselves? Is saying that why are you jealous of another beings who are happy by gaining those good quality, by earning those quality themselves? Why are you sad, I mean angry towards those people? Why are you jealous towards those peoples? You are the one who has generated the bodhicitta so that you bring happiness to everyone, but you are now you are getting angry or jealous towards happiness of other peoples, and you don't have any effort in getting that happiness. They have found that happiness themselves. They own that happiness themselves. Why are you angry with those people? त्रैलोक्य पूज्यं बुद्धोत्तम सत्त्वानां किल वाञ्छसि सत्कारमित्तरं दृष्ट्वा तेषां किं परिदह्यसे. Here also he's talking about why are you jealous? You in one hand you wish the enlightenment for other peoples, you know that enlightenment which will be worshipped by three real beings of three realms. But now by seeing another being honored, why are you burning with jealousy? That's what he's saying in stanza 81. पुष्णाति इह त्वया पोष्यं तुभ्यमेव ददाति स कुटुम्बजीविनं लब्ध्वा न हर्षयसि prakupyasi. If someone is helping someone else, that means they are making your job easy. That means they are helping you as well, because you don't need to make other people happy, and you don't need to exert effort to make other people happy, because another being is taking care of that being's happiness. Now this is like your family member. You should regard them as your family member. Kutumba jivinam. But having found such type of family member in your life, rather than being happy, you are still angry. सकिं नेच्छसि सत्त्वानां यः तेषां बोधिमिच्छति बोधिचित्तं कुत तस्य यो अन्यत् सम्पत्ति कुप्पति. Okay, so he's talking about in this stanza from 80 to 83. He's talking about he's attacking your jealousy behavior. Okay, so you have wished the bodhi on enlightenment for the beings. So there is nothing else you will not wish for them. Then why are you jealous of other people's property? Because you wish enlightenment for them. So enlightenment means the greatest happiness. Then now why are you jealous of other people's happiness? So he's attacking the jealous behavior, the afflictions, which is called jealousy, um, in the in the in the he's in the beings, yeah, in the practitioner. So he's talking to the practitioner, okay, not the lay persons here. Because this book is about how to develop those kind of qualities of the bodhisattva. Okay, that's what he's teaching in this book. He's not addressing the ordinary beings who do not have interest in bodhicitta. He's addressing these stanzas to the beings who are interested in walking the path, especially bodhisattva path shown by the Buddha. यदि तेन न तल्लब्धम स्थितम दान प्रत्यगृहे. Okay, someone is giving something to another person. So why you get jealous? If that person doesn't get that thing, then it will stay in the donor's house with the donor. In any case, whether it's given or not, sarvata pina tatte asti datta dattena tena kim. In any case, whether it's given or not, it is not yours. You won't get it. So why are you jealous if someone is offering some donation to another being? Okay, so he's talking about jealousy. Kim barayetu punyani prasannan swagudanata lavamano na grihadatu badakena na kupyasi. Okay, so here now Acharya Santideva was starting to talk about the behaviors of human beings. Whatever they want, whatever is they it makes them happy, like praise, fame, profit, physical and mental happiness. If we ordinary beings see our enemy getting that, then we become jealous. Yeah, and we become upset and we get angry towards another beings. So Acharya Santideva in the previous stanza 84 was saying that, okay, if someone gives something to another person, why are you upset? If that person doesn't get that profit or that donation or whatever is being given to him, it will stay to the donor's house. In any case, it will not come to you. So what's the point? Why are you angry? Why are you sad? Why are you jealous if someone is giving something to another being or not? Okay, in same context, he is saying Kimbar etu punyani prasannan swagudan atha. Okay, so should he, should that person, your enemy, should stop his virtuous deeds, or should stop being happy, or should give up his own good qualities, or should stop taking things that is offered to him or her. Labamano na grihadatu badakena na kupesi. So tell me, how will you How will you not get angry? Tell me. So stanza 85 is saying that na kevalam tvam atmanam kita papam na sochasi kita punne sahasparda pardam apare kartum ichasi. So if someone is getting, praise, if someone is getting fame, if someone is getting profit, if someone is getting physical and mental happiness, then it is because of his own, virtuous deeds. You are not getting praise, you are not getting fame, you are not getting profit, you are not getting physical and mental, happiness. It's because of your own past non-virtuous deeds. Now you don't regret about your own, rather than regretting your own non-virtuous deeds you did in the past, you're trying to compete with that another person's virtues. That is why you are getting angry. That is why you are sad. That is why you are wishing, um, wrong thing for enemy. Jatam cheda अप्रियम शत्रु तो तुष्टया किम पुनः भवेत. Okay, according you becoming unhappy to your enemy, and then you are wishing bad thing for them. Okay, if something wrong happens to your enemy, then what satisfaction do you get from that? तो तुष्टया किम पुनः भवेत. तोदा samsana mathena, only because of your wish. Nachahetu bhavishyati. If there is no any causes and conditions, then only your wishes doesn't produce the result. Ata todicaya siddhim. Okay, let's say you according to your wish. Okay, your wishful is fulfilled. Atha todicaya siddham tadukhe kim sukham tava. So in that suffering, according to your wish, your enemy is suffering. Now tell me, what happiness do you get from that suffering of another being? And you say atha api artho bhavet. Okay, let's say there is some benefit you get from other people's suffering. Then what else is more harmful than this? Anartham ko natapara. Etadhi badisam ghoram klesa badi sikarpitam. Okay, this type of mental attitude of wishing suffering for another beings, etad is are, I mean, this type of mental status is a kind of bait. We have seen people go for fishing where they throw the bait. So Acharya Santideva is saying this type of negativity is a bait, okay, which is thrown by the fishermen of affliction. So he's seeing the afflictions, anger, jealousy, as the fisherman, which is throwing the bait in the form of wish, your mental attitude to harm another beings. Okay. Eto narakapalastvam kritva pachenti kuvisu. Now there are the gardens of hell who will buy. Okay, eto narakapalastvam. So from whom, from these afflictions. So he's just visualizing, affliction as a fisherman, and there are gardens of hell, and he said that the gardens of hell will buy you from that affliction. It's like, it's resembling. He's trying to make sense in terms of by giving you example of fishermen. For example, fishermen, they wait. Whoever goes to fishing, they wait, they put the bait and they wait for fish to come there, and then they will take out that fish and sell to another beings. So he's saying your affliction is a fisherman inside your mind, and it is throwing the bait in the form of harmful wishes that is arising, harmful emotions that is arising inside your mind, and then the god of hills, guardians of the hills, who will buy, you as a fish. You are the fish here, and the fisherman is the affliction. So they will buy you from that fisherman of affliction and then cook you as a fish in the pot in the hill. Okay, so he's giving the example. He's trying to make his point by giving the example of how fishermen's fish and then they sell and then we cook the fish. Similarly, so we are the fish and then afflictions are the fishermen. They are throwing the bait, and then if you get influence or come under the influence of those bait which are harmful emotions, then the fisherman is same as a fish taking coming into that bait. Okay, and then fishermen catch the fish and then sell to the guardian of the hill, and the guardian of the hill will do what they will do with you. They will cook you in the pot. Okay, it's just an example to illustrate. Okay, stuti sotha satkaro na punyaye na chayuse na balartham na charogya na cha kaya sukhayami. Okay, so we are getting jealous of our enemies getting more praise from compared to us. Okay, giving more getting more mm, honors compared to us. So he is, Acharya Santideva is saying in stanza 90 that stuti, stuti means the praise, satkar means the, honors. He is, your enemy is getting, is not useful in, um, for the marriage, for the longevity, for the strength, for the health, for bodily pleasures. Okay, so those things, those praise words of praise, honors are neither for marriage. They will not increase the marriage. They will not make you live long. They will not give you make you strong. They will not make you healthy. Nothing. That's those stuti and is stuti is and satkars, you know praise, fame, and profits, all those things are not useful to you. They will not increase your life. They will not increase your virtues. They won't increase your strength. But for someone, for a wise person, what matters is not the praise, fame, hospitality, but the merits, longevity, strength, health, and body pleasure. These are the important things. Etan vansa bhavet swartho, dhimata swartha vedina. Whoever understand your own self interest, these things, longevity, marriage, strength, health are enough. Okay, they don't need the stuti, praise. They don't need the fame. They don't need the hospitality to survive. All you need to survive is the merit, long life, strength, health, and body pleasure. Madhya duta disebyam sat manasam sukhamitsita. If you really want to be happy, then just go and drink liquor. Just do gamblings. That's what he's saying in stanza 91. Esortham harayanti artham atma na marayanti. There are peoples, okay, for in order to get the fame, in order to get the wealth, they kill themselves. And then he's saying, Kimotcherani bhachani mite kasecha tatsukham. So once you died for the sake of wealth, for the sake of fame, after you die, what happiness, whose happiness is that? Whose money is that? Who gets that happiness? यथा पांसु गृहे भिन्ने रोदित्यार्थ रवं शिशु तथा स्तुति सोहानौ स्वचित्तं प्रतिभाति मे. Okay, so you must have seen that a child um, creating sand castles from the sand, and when it collapses they cry in distress. Similarly, Acharya Santideva is saying that my mind appears similar, like the same, like a child crying in distress on seeing collapse of sandal. My mind also cries on losing praise and fame. शब्दस्तावत् अचित्वत्वात् स मां स्तौतीत्यसम्भव परखिल मयि प्रीत इत्येत प्रीतिकारणम्. Okay, so so if someone is praising you, if they are, then the words, the words which are used to praise you do not have mind. Okay, that is why it is not possible that those words will make you happy, because those words don't have capacity to praise you. But in fact another person is happy, um, that might be the cause of happiness for you. But okay, in its next stanza he says अन्यत्र मयि वा प्रीत्या किं हि मे परकीयया तस्यैवं तत् प्रीति सुखम bhago nalpomi method. Okay, so word of praise are don't have mind, that's why it's not possible them to praise me. In fact another person is happy, person loves me, that might be the cause of your happiness. But still, if someone shows the affection to me, okay, here parakiya means actually the literal meaning, the meaning is para is someone is wife. Okay, so if someone else wife is showing happiness, I mean affection towards you, so what do you get? Okay, what is the use of it? Because that happiness is hers, and you don't I don't have any even a small share in it. I didn't do anything to make her happy. She's happy herself. That's why she is showing her affection to me, and I'm thinking I'm becoming happy thinking that she loves me, but there is no any my input from my side to make her happy. She's happy because of her, that happiness is her, and there's no any even a small share of that happiness in that happiness. तत्सुखेन सुखित्वं चेत् सर्वत्रैव ममास्तु तत्. Okay, if that type of happiness, someone praising me, makes me happy, then may it always be mine. Then kasmat anya prasadena sukhitesu name sukham. Then why don't I get happiness when another person is becoming happy because of um, similar praise. तस्माद् अहं स्तुतोऽस्मीति प्रीतिरात्मनि जायते तत्राप्येवम् असम्बद्धात् केवलं शिशुचेष्टितम्. That is why I am being praised, okay, due to which happiness arise in me. So that way of thinking is also wrong, because there is no any relationship between me being happy and being praised. Okay, it's just a childish way of thinking. Stu- स्तुत्यादयश्च मे क्षेमं संवेगं नाशयन्त्यपि नाशयन्त्यमि गुणवस्तु च मात्सर्यं सम्पत्कोपं च कुर्वते. Okay, so in this stanza he is saying what are the disadvantages of getting praised. Okay, if someone praise you, then it will destroy my stuti adaya sa. Stuti adaya means the stuti means the praise, and etc means other fame, profit, physical, mental, and mental pains, all those things. It will destroy my welfare. And sambegam means moment of momentum, where it will stop you practice, and it will make Guravatsutsa Matswaryam. It makes me envious of virtuous ones. And then Sampat Kopam Cha Kurvate. Not only it makes me envious, jealous of another virtuous person, but also get angry if I see someone is getting more praise, someone is getting more fame, someone is getting more profit than us. So these things, praise, fame, and profits, ha- have capacity to destroy my welfare. Chema means welfare. Okay, so he's showing here what are the disadvantages of getting trapped in the eight worldly concerns. So eight worldly concerns are love for praise. You want praise, you don't want the opposite of praise. You want fame, you don't want defame. You want profit, you don't want loss. Okay, you want happiness, physical and mental happiness. You don't want suffering or pain and mental suffering. So if you get in trap of these eight hourly conscience, then if you're getting more praise than another person, or if someone else is getting more praise than you, it will make you jealous. It will make you angry if you see someone else prosperity. Okay, tasmad stutyadi ghataya mama ye pratyupastita. That is why whoever is standing in front of me in order to destroy my praise, in order to destroy my eight worldly concerns, that person in fact is saving me from going to the unfortunate realm. Apaya patara chatam pravita nanu te mama. They in fact are there to protect me from falling to the unfortunate realm, because when I become envious, as he said in the previous stanza 98, if I become envious and angry with another person's prosperity, prosperity, then it will push me towards the anger, will push me towards the unfortunate realm. So whoever is standing me in front of me, that means my enemy is there standing for me to protect me from falling to the unfortunate realm. Muktyarthina ayuktam me labha satkara bandhanam. So he's saying that me who wants to get to free from this suffering of this existing realms, cyclic existing realms, is those love means those profit, those praise, all those eight worldly concerns are like a cycles, okay, which will bind you to these suffering realms. So someone who wishes to free oneself from these cycles, these things, praise and then fame and profit and loss, all those things, those worldly concerns are not good for me, because they will bind me to this world. Vimochayanti mam bandhat tesa tesu katham mama. So my enemy will save me from those type of cycles, those type of bondage. Then why should I get angry with such an enemy? So he's not enemy, he's actually a friend in disguise, who is standing there ruining my reputation, due to which I don't get envious to another other beings. I don't get angry seeing other people being praised. and chances me, and they are protecting me going to or falling to the unfortunate realms. Okay, so we have 34 more stanzas. दुःखं प्रविष्टु कामस्य ये कपाटत्वमागता गता बुद्धाधिष्ठानत इव द्वेषतेषु katham mama. So in this way, my enemy is saving me from going to the to the suffering realms. Then how can I have anger for those, okay, who have come as a blessing from the Buddha, like a door, who has become like a door for me, that stops me entering to the suffering realms. I'm the one who is wishing the praise. I'm the one who is wishing the fame. I'm the one who is wishing the profit. I'm the one who is wishing the physical and mental happiness. And if I don't get that, and if I see someone else is getting that, then I become angry, I become unhappy. So these angry and these negative emotions will lead me towards the suffering realms, and for me, who is about to get into that suffering realms, these enemies who are hampering my happiness, who are hampering my praise, who are hampering my fame, are actually are have come like a Buddha's blessing, and has become the door that stops me going or entering to the suffering realms. Punya bigna krito ne ne te te tetra kopo na yujyate chantya samam tabo nasti nanve tat tadupastita. So if you think that these enemies obstruct me doing the virtuous tasks, but still anger is not justified, because there is nothing which equals, there is nothing more austerious than the patience, and surely these enemies have come to teach me those things to me. The enemies are here to teach me how to have patience, and there is nothing which is more austerious than the patience. Nothing that equals, no austerity that is equal to the patience. So anger is not justified. These enemies are not here to obstruct my to put the obstruction in my virtuous deeds, but they are here to teach me how to have patience. अथा अहम आत्मदोषेण न करोमि क्षमाम् इह मयैवात्र कृतो विघ्न पुण्यहेताव उपस्थिता हेतौ उपस्थिता. Okay, so it's not because enemies, it's not it's it's not enemy who are obstructing your virtuous deed, but it's you who are obstructing, and no, you are the one who is creating the obstruction in the virtuous deed, because these enemies, the so-called enemies are here, are in fact the causes for you to do virtuous deeds such as patience. Patience is a virtuous deed, and they are here, they have come here as a cause for you to generate those type of virtuous deeds. And if you don't forgive your enemies due to your own ignorance, due to your own faults, atha aham atmadosena karomi chimam iha, if I don't forgive these enemies because my own faults, then I'm the one who is creating hindrance in the cause of marriage. Okay, the enemies are present here as a cause of merits, and because I am angry with them, I'm the one who is creating the hindrance. Yo hi yena bina nasti yasmin sa sati vidyate. That which cannot exist without which, and based on which it exists, then you can't say it an obstacle. It is in fact the cause of that thing. So my enemy is cause of me perfecting the patience. That is why I should not have, I should not show anger or malice, ill will for them. I should forgive them because they are here to help me to do the practice of patience. Nahi kalo papannena dana bigna kirtorthina. Okay, so if you want to donate something to other people, okay, and if in at that moment if some beggars come in front of you, then that beggar doesn't create the obstruction. In fact, they are becoming the cause for you to do your charitable work, charity. In the same way, nacha prabhajake prape prabhajya vigna uchyate. Similarly, if you want to, you know, have the ordination, and if you get someone who gives you ordination, then you can't say that person has created obstruction in your ordination, function. In the similarly, you want to practice the patience, and then the enemy has come in front of you. So that enemy is the cause, not the obstruction. So he's trying to explain the previous stanza by giving the example of this stanza. Sulabha yachaka loke durvala durlabhasत्व अपकारिण यतो मे अनपराधस्य न कश्चित् अपराधन्ति. Okay, if I'm really innocent, okay, because I'm very innocent, I don't offend anyone, then no one will try to harm me. Then how will I practice the patience? So it's really difficult to find those who create the crime for the person who is like me, who do not offend other people. Even if I'm not offending anyone, I'm getting enemies. That means these are the very rarest thing that will happen to people. If you are good, then you won't have any someone wishing bad thing for you, and then in that case, how will you develop the patience? Okay, you need enemy to develop the patience. So it's very difficult, easy to find the yachaka, your beggars, but it's very difficult to find someone who insult you, hurt you. So be happy you found the enemy so that you can practice the patience. So don't get angry with the enemy. See them as a causes for the perfection of your patience. Asramo uparjita tasmad grihe nidhi rivotthita bodhicharya sahayatvat sprihaniyo ripurmama. So bodhicharya, so you want to be Buddha, so you have to conduct or you have to develop certain qualities in you. Okay, so for that, for example, you need to perfect the you know practice of donation, a practice of generosity, practice of ethical conduct, practice of patience, practice of effort. So when it comes to practice of patience, your enemy is helpful. That is why you should love them, you should like them, because they are helpful for the practice of conduct of bodhicharya. So he has come to me. I didn't have to go anywhere to look for any enemies. He came to me like a treasure, that is appearing in front of me without me doing any effort. That is why I should love enemy. Those enemies should be desirable to me as if as a like a treasure which you have got without any effort, which has appeared in your house. मया चानेन चोपात्तं तस्मात् एतत् क्षमाफलम् एतस्मै प्रथमं देयं तत् एतत् पूर्वा क्षमायत. So now, whatever, you know, the patience is the virtuous deed. So there's a good result you will obtain definitely from this patience, practice of patience. So whatever you obtaining there is because of you as well as your enemy. Okay, there's contribution of both. Okay, if there's no enemy, then you can't practice the patience. So both of you have practiced, but your enemy was in front of, has become the cause. So cause is comes first. Okay, and then result comes. That is why he deserves to be he deserves to have that the result of that patience. Okay, whatever result I'm getting from the patience, whatever virtue this I'm getting, so I should give that virtuous deed to that enemy, because both of us combine effort, I'm getting this result. So he's dedicating his in the whatever virtues he's getting from the patience is giving those virtues to the his enemy. So that is the mindset of the Mahayana practice. Okay, whatever they get, whatever positive result they get, they dedicate it to other beings. Okay, let's move forward. I'm starting to get tired now. क्षमा सिद्धया सयो नास्ये तेन पूज्यो न चेदरी. So you can say that okay, enemy was there. His intention was not to perfect my patience. He was there to annoy me. So that is why should I worship or or show respect to my enemy, because they didn't have intention to for the perfection of my practice. So if you think so, then it is also in then that way of thinking is also not right, because siddhi hetu achut it's achittopi. So you do sadharma pujyate katham. You do all type of virtuous deed. Those virtuous deed also don't have intention of making intention of being cause of marriage for you, but still you venerate those um, those type of sadharma, sacred dharma. Sacred dharma itself is don't have mind, but they have capacity to produce the good results. So you venerate the sacred dharma. In the same way, although your enemy doesn't have intention to 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 help you attain the patience of practice, but still your practice of patience is perfected because of them. Although whether it doesn't matter if they had intention or not, because of them, they are the cause of your perfection. So your way of thinking that because they don't have intention, that is why I should not it's not necessary for me to respect them, and that's the wrong way of thinking. That's what he's saying in stanza 109. Apakara sayo sayeti ti sayeti satru edi na pujyate अन्यथा me katham shanti visajiva hitodyate. Okay, if you think that your enemy had intention of hurting you, then where else you will get the patience? Everyone else is working for my welfare. I don't need to develop, like a doctor. They all are making sure that I become healthy. I don't have suffering. Then I don't need to have. I can't do patience on this type of people who wish fair, well for me. I need enemy to practice the patience. So if I think that that person had the intention to hurt me, didn't have intention for me to, to act for to attain the perfection of patience, then where should I have the patience? Everyone is my working in my favor. I can't practice, the patience with those who are working for my favor. I need enemy. That is why the enemy should be respected, or you know enemy should be desired. We should not run away from the enemy. We should not push away the enemies. Okay, in fact they are friends, well wishers in disguise. I'm the one who is not able to see that. My ignorance is stopping me from seeing that. They are in fact the cause of malice. Tadustasaya mevatah pratityoutpadayate chema. So that's what he's saying. They are depending on them, on their, harmful intention. The patience is generated in me. Saevatah chema hetu. That is why they are the one. They are the cause of my patience. Pujya sadharma vanvaya. That is why they are. They should be, worship. As I worship the sadharma or sacred dharma, I should worship my enemy also, likewise, because they are the cause one. They are the cause. They are the one who are cause for the generation of patience in me. Sattva kshetram jina kshetram ityeto muninoditam eta naradya bahava sampat param etogata. So Buddha has said that in fact the realms of ordinary being is the realm of the Buddha, because by venerating these ordinary beings, many have achieved perfection of prosperity. Sampat param etogata. Okay, they have perfected those prosperity depending on ordinary beings, especially the beings who annoy us. That is why Buddha has said that the field of ordinary beings, or the realm of ordinary beings, is the realm of Buddha. Satve vesya jine vesya Buddha dharma game same. When it comes to realization of Buddha dharma, the same results are obtained from the ordinary beings as well as the Buddha, because both are the causes of realization of Buddha. Jinesu Gauravam Yadvat. That is why you have the, you know, you have the pride in Buddha. Then why don't you have the pride for the ordinary beings? What is these customs? Sattve siti kakrama. Jinesu Gauravam Yadvat na sattvesu iti kakrama. So he's getting surprised. You respect Buddha because he he is the cause of realization of Buddha. Similarly, ordinary beings, Buddha himself said that ordinary beings is the cause of realization of Buddha Dharma. Why don't you show same reverence to that ordinary being you show to the Buddha? What is this custom? Why is so? So he's showing his surprise here. आशयस्य च माहात्म्यं न स्वतः किन्तु कार्ये च. Okay, so if someone intends something to you, if it doesn't produce and they don't do anything, just wish the thing, okay, for you, and if that wish doesn't fulfill the result, then there is no greatness on that. Okay, the greatness of intention is not in itself until it shows the result, until it shows its action. That is why, although the ordinary beings don't have intention, it is showing the result. That is why the greatness of ordinary being is also alike that of the Buddha. That is why ordinary beings and Buddha are equal. Samam cha tena mahatmyam satwanam tena te sama. Because the greatness of ordinary being and Buddha is same. That is why they are equal. Buddha and ordinary beings are equal. Maitreya sayascha yet pujya sattva mahatme mevata tat Buddha prasadat yet punyam Buddha mahatmem evatat. So if you show the loving kindness to our ordinary beings, you will get venerated, you will get respected, and that respect is received because of your loving kindness toward the ordinary beings. And Buddha prasadat yet punyam Buddha mahatmem evatat. So whatever merits comes, similarly whatever merits come from the Buddha by becoming cheerful toward the Buddha, that is the greatness of Buddha. So Buddha has also his greatness, and ordinary beings also have their own greatness. So if you show loving kindness toward the ordinary beings, you'll get venerated. If you show cheerfulness toward the Buddha's quality, by seeing the Buddha's quality, you become cheerful. Then that's the greatness of Buddha. Buddha dharma sena satwa tasmat satwa jinai sama natu buddhai sama kechit anantansai gunadavai. Now he is saying, because both of them, Buddha as well as ordinary beings, are the cause of realization of Buddha. So due to these causes being part in realization of Buddha Dharma, ordinary beings as well as Buddha are compared and said they are same. However, when you see the result, Buddha's quality are unsurpassable. Okay, their virtues are boundless like oceans. So when we say that Buddha and ordinary beings are equal, we are saying in terms of cause, not result. When you see the result, there is no one who can compare the virtues of the Buddha. The virtues of Buddhas are as boundless as the oceans. But what in terms of causes, although the ordinary beings and the Buddha are compared and said they are same, but in terms of result, no one can compare. So that is what he is saying, so that it doesn't create the misunderstanding that when we say that Buddha and ordinary beings are same. So he's clarifying his view here. Okay. So when he said that Buddha and ordinary beings are same, he means that in terms of their part in realizing Buddha Dharma. Okay, so 5 more slides there. हुडसारैक राशिनां गुढ अणुरपि चेत् क्वचित् दृश्यते तस्य पूजार्थं त्रैलोक्यम् अपि न क्षेमम्. So the Buddha is the heap of essence of virtues. Okay, and if even a smaller fraction of that virtue is seen in somewhere in some people, then Acharya Shantideva says that even on this whole 3 realms, when he says 3 realms, it means desire being realms, form realms, and formless realms. Okay, these three realms are still the suffering realms. Okay, these still are called bhava or cyclic existence. So these 3 realms don't have capacity to venerate that person who has even a small fraction of the virtues of the Buddha. बुद्ध धर्मो दयांसस्तु श्रेष्ठ सत्त्वेषु बुध्यते एतद्दंशानुरूपेण सत्त्व पूजा कृता भवेत्. Okay, the essence which has potential to give rise to Buddha dharma that exists within the ordinary beings. I think he's talking about the Tathagat Garva, that essence, that the basic element which has potential which has potential to arise into which has potential to arise on Buddha Dharma exists within every ordinary beings. And due to this essence, the ordinary beings deserves to be venerated as Buddha. Kimsa nisthadmabandhunam aprameyopacharinam satvaradhanam utsijya niskriti ka paravave. So here nisthadmabandhu means he's referring to the enemies. Okay, they are friends in disguise. Okay, so what to say about us, this type of friends who do innumerable amount of favor to us? What else should be as big a damage as abandoning these beings, worshipping of these beings? In fact, these beings are the non-deceiving friends which will help me to perfect certain qualities in me. भिन्दन्ति देहं प्रविशन्त्यभिचिम् येषां कृते तत्र कृते कृतं स्यात् महापकारिष्वपि तेन सर्वं कल्याणम् एव आचरणीयमेषु. Okay, he's saying that Buddha and Bodhisattvas caught their body, they entered in the hell for the sake of human beings. So for their sakes, for whoever Buddha and Bodhisattvas are working, so we also should work for the sake of those beings. That is why it is always appropriate to conduct virtuously towards the one, even though anyone committing great misconduct. If someone is insulting me, then also it is appropriate to conduct virtuously because Buddha and Bodhisattvas are working for these beings. And I should also work for the sake of these beings. That is why I should conduct virtuously toward this being. Even if someone is coming charging toward, getting angry with me, trying to hurt me, I should act virtuously towards them. Because Buddha and Bodhisattvas are here to help them by insulting or harming so-called enemy. You are creating the obstruction in the path of Buddha and Bodhisattvas. You don't want that. You don't want to create the obstruction in the path of Buddha and Bodhisattva. That's what this stanza implying. स्वयं मम स्वामिन एव तावत् यदर्थम् आत्मन्यपि विवेच्य अहं कथं स्वामिषु तेषु करोमि मानं न तु दासभावम्. Okay, in this way my own masters, okay, who are our masters? Buddha and Bodhisattvas. So my own masters, Buddha and Bodhisattvas, are disregarding themselves for the sake of whom? For sake of these enemies or sake of these ordinary beings, rather than having feeling of servant, for these ordinary beings? How can I show anger to these ordinary beings and to these masters? My masters are working for welfare of these ordinary beings, and I am the servant of those master is showing arrogance to these beings. Esam sukhe yanti mudam munindra, esam bethayam pravisanti manyum, tatosnadat sarvamunindra tustis, taptrapya kare apikritam muninam. If I, this Munindra means the sages. Sages means Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Great sages, find their happiness in the happiness of ordinary beings. And if these ordinary beings suffer, then those Munindras, those sages, those Buddha and Bodhisattva becomes sad. And these Munindras find satisfaction in the satisfaction of ordinary beings. And if I harm these ordinary beings, it means I'm harming the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Adipta kayasya yatha samantan sarva kamairapi saurmanasyam tattva bethayamapi tadvadeva na preti upayasti dayamayanam. Just like, okay, if your body is burning from all over, all directions, then doesn't matter how beautiful things or how delicious things are in front of you, those things don't give you happiness. Similarly, when the world is suffering, when the ordinary beings are suffering, compassionate ones cannot remain happy. Tasmat maya yet janna dukkadena dukham kritam sarva mahakripanam tad adyat papam pratidesayami yet kheditaha tanmunaya chemantam. So that is why now he is confessing his non-virtuous deeds, which he committed, which he created by insulting the ordinary beings, by harming the ordinary beings. Because harming the ordinary beings means harming the Buddha and Bodhisattva. So he is regretting those non-virtuous deeds, and he is saying that I regret my unvirtuous deeds. May by harming the ordinary beings, I harm suffering. I mean, created suffering to the Buddha and Bodhisattva. So I regret that one, and may those Buddha and Bodhisattvas forgive me. Okay, 10 more stanzas. Let's move forward. Aradhana yad tathagatanam sarvatmana dasay mupaimi loke kurvantu me murdhani padam janauga vignantu va tusyetu lokanatha. So in order to please Buddha, I accept the servitude of this world. Okay, I consider myself servant of the ordinary beings. May these beings do whatever to me, step on my head or destroy me. May the Lord of the world, that is the Buddha and Bodhisattva, be happy with me. Okay. Atmikritam sarvamidam jagatai kripantmabhinaiv hi samsayasti Disyanta ete nanu sattvarupa ta eva natha adarotra. Okay, there exists no doubt, okay, that these compassionate beings are have taken this whole entire world as their own, and they are the one who is appearing as in the form of human beings to help other beings. So why disrespect these masters, these human beings? You never know that they are Buddha and Bodhisattva in this body. So why disrespect such masters by disrespecting the ordinary beings, by disrespecting especially your enemy. Okay, you should not disrespect your enemy. You never know that enemy is Buddha and Bodhisattva who has come to you without your effort to help you in the practice of the perfection of the patience. तथागताराधन मेतद्देव स्वार्थस्य संसाधन मेतद्देव लोकस्य दुःखापहमेतदेव तस्मात् मम अस्तु वर्तमेतदेव. So this is the way to worship the Buddha. What is the way? Worshipping the Buddha means worshipping the ordinary beings. Okay, worshipping the ordinary being is the way to worship the Buddha. Worshipping the ordinary beings, especially your enemy, is to achieve. This is the way to achieve own wish. This is the way to remove the suffering of the world. That is why this too is my way of conduct. यथैको राजपुरुष प्रमथनाति महाजनम विकर्तुम नैव शक्नोति दीर्घदर्शी mahajana. Just like one single person who is representing the power, say king, even though that representative of the king has a group of people, those group of people do not go against this single person. Why? Because यस्मान् नैव स एकाकी तस्य राजा बलं बलं तथा न दुर्बलं कश्चित् अपराधम विमानयेत्. Because he is not alone, although that person is alone, but in fact the power of he has the backing of king. The power of the king is his own power. So king has given power to this person. Similarly, that is why no weak person, even a weak person, if it act non-virtuously, non-virtuously, or if they annoy you by their non-virtuous deeds, you should not insult them. Yasma nara kapalascha. Why you should not insult them? Because yasmat narakapalascha kripavantascha tadvalam. Just like a king has given the power to his person, similarly this enemy of mine has the power of not only the compassionate one, but the guardians of hell. Tasmat aradhayet satvan. That is why this being should be served. Bhitatanda nipam tatha. Just like obedient, servants serve his wrathful king, I should serve these ordinary beings, because these ordinary beings have the backing of Buddha, Bodhisattva, as well as the guardians of hell. So I should not insult anyone for their misconduct. I should not insult the enemy because he is hurting me. Because that enemy is not alone. That has the strength of Buddha and Bodhisattva. Buddha and Bodhisattva is here to help that enemy as well, not only me. And if I insult that enemy, that means I'm creating the obstruction in the path of Buddha and Bodhisattvas, which is creating the obstruction in the path of Buddha and Bodhisattva is the non-virtuous deed. So I should not insult any enemies. I should not be revengeful because my enemy is hurting me. So I should have patience. Kupita kim kup nipa kuryat yena san naraka betha. Any angry king doesn't have capacity to produce that suffering of the hell. Yet sattva daurmanasena kritena henuvete. That will be experienced as the result of misconducts toward the ordinary beings. So result of the misconducts towards the ordinary beings more harmful than angering the king. तुष्ट किं निपर्ति दत्तात् ed buddhatva samam bhavet. Similarly, what can satisfy if you serve a king and make the king happiness? What can this happy king or satisfied king can give to you that is same as the enlightenment? You will get that enlightenment. You will experience that enlightenment as a result of being compassionate toward the ordinary beings. Okay, it's atma saurmanasena kritena hanubhuyate. That's what stanza 32 is saying. Wow, last two. Astam bhavishya buddhatvam satvaradhana sambhavam ihaiva saubhagyavasaha saustityam kim na pasyati. Okay. If you serve human beings or ordinary beings, not only human beings, okay, beings of the six or three realms, okay, if you serve all the beings, that will help you enlightenment, okay, help for the enlightenment in the future, as well as it will make you happy, your life happy and prosperous. It will give you fame. It will bring the auspicious situation. So why don't you see this possibility of getting not only enlightened in the future, but being happy in this life, happy, prosperous, fulfilled life in this very life too. Prasadi prasadikatvam arogyam pramodyam chirajivitam chakravarti sukham spitam chimi prapnoti sansaram. So he's saying what a person uh, who has perfected the patience will obtain while dwelling in this world. He will be present, he will be healthy, it will be blissful, he will live long, comfortable, prosperous life as if inferior. Chakravarti Sukham. Spitam. Chemi prapnoti sansaram. So while you are dwelling, while you living in this world, if you have patience, then you will have happy, long, prosperous life like a imper. You will live your life like an imperior. That's how he's ending his stanzas of this chapter. Okay, so I think it's the video will be more than 4 hours. So, but you can always pause if you get tired. Just pause, but try to finish all the stanzas, because by the time if you go on revising this chapter again and again, reading, listening, and then contemplating, and then doing meditate while meditation, you just go and contemplate those things, then slowly, you will develop that habit of patience, and you will progress in the path. That's what Acharya Santideva is doing, and that's the point of doing the perfection of patience, because patience not only help you in this worldly life, but if you are practitioners, yeah, practice. We have been suffering here because we have a one way of thinking. Okay, going against that thinking requires little bit of effort and little bit of your energy. Okay, it will be suffering. You will have to experience the suffering to go against your ordinary way of thinking. So for that also you need the practice of patience. Okay, you need patience. So as you go on, and as I said, that if you go on reading, contemplating all those things, so you will perfect your practice patience, and then you will move forward in the path that will lead you away from this, realms of existence, suffering realms of existence. Okay, let's end this chapter here, and then I'll come with another chapter, which is the practice of patience. Okay, what is, I don't know, I talk about this, is this a really long video, and then I don't remember if I talk about what is difference between patience and perfection of patience. Okay, patience, everyone has patience, every religion talk about patience, but only Buddha talk about the perfection of patience. So what's the difference between those two? The patience, is an ordinary type, everyone ordinary beings, you don't need religion to say you patience. Even animals have patience. Okay, in order to survive in the world, you have to have patience, because suffering is everywhere, you know but with that patience, it won't lead you to, far away. And also you have patience for, for certain group of people. If you have both, then you have patience for them, and if you but you don't have patience for someone who is inferior or junior than you. But when you perfect the patience, you know you have patience plus wisdom in there. Wisdom, what is the wisdom? It's the wisdom realizing nothing is independent, everything is dependently originating, hence everything is empty of inherent existence. So when you mix that wisdom with the practice of patience, ordinary patience, whatever ordinary type of patience you are doing, if you mix that wisdom, then it becomes the perfection of patience. Okay, so Buddhism or Buddha talk about the perfection of patience. He didn't talk about those nitty gritty type of patience. When we say the patience, we means the perfection of patience, the patience which has the wisdom also in there. So only the perfection of patience has capacity to lead you away from these realms of existence forever. But the patience, only patience without any wisdom, do not have that capacity. Okay, let's finish this one. Let's dedicate whatever merits we obtain by hearing, listening, me making this video. Let's dedicate for the benefit of all beings. May I be with Buddha. May all be Buddha with this merits. Okay, see you next time. Pavatu Sarva Mangalam.